Show started. Oh, we about to get it started. Lord have mercy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We want to say thank you so very much for tuning in on this lovely morning. I want to give a special shout out to all of the producers out there for watching this from across the country. Shout out to our UK viewers for coming through. This is an amazing day, and we are here. I wanted to go live and talk to you all about Bad Boys LA. We definitely gonna get into that. But yesterday we did a live covering Unwind with Tasha K. So make sure y'all go check that live out. Almost got 3,000 folks. Y'all definitely been watching it. Make sure y'all liking it and y'all are commenting. We're cutting down our lives. You're not doing extremely long lives. We try to do 60 minutes and we're gonna be done with it. 60-minute lives. So that's why you was getting a couple of lives, and we trying to not have it as long and as lengthy. Because something so people can sit down and watch a good hour. But I do want to say good morning to you all in the chat. Also, I want to say good morning to the members. Also, good morning to our Patreon family as well. So I want to say good morning, good morning, good morning. If this is your first time watching the Wiley Show, click that like button. Now, we're gonna be covering Bad Boys of LA. I think this is the third episode. I think this may be the third. This got to be the third episode. Let me make sure. Could be the third or second episode, but I was watching it last night, and we finally have Kerrion Franklin. It opens up of them of Curtis and them talking to Kerrion Franklin. They're trying to understand. Last week, Kerrion was knocked in his jaw. He was bleeding. Curtis hit him, and they are trying to figure out, is Kerrion straight? Is Kerrion part of the straight club? And Milan come up to them and say, hey, y'all, it's not right that y'all are trying to force Kerrion Franklin out of the closet. That's not right to force him out of the closet when you know he not willing to share it. So trying to force him, and everybody said, well, we want to know, it's our responsibility. We want to know because we straight, we straight guys, and this is what we want to know, and we all about being straight, and we don't we don't want to be around no weirdness and stuff like that. And I'm just saying, I'm like, listen, people need to stop trying to force people out of the closet. Let me tell you something. Really right now, I want to say something right now. Um, because and I say this in the defense of Storm Monroe. Y'all know who Storm Monroe is. He's a friend of the show. And I get so many emails of people saying that Storm Monroe is in the closet. I get emails, I get texts, I get phone calls, I get messages in my PO box. People are so concerned about Storm Monroe's sexuality, and this is like a similar situation with Kerrion Franklin, where people are just concerned. They're nosy. They're very concerned. So back to the show, they're really trying to force Kerrion to be something. So finally, they Milan having this conversation, and then I believe Milan it didn't switch to, I forgot where they switched to next. I believe they was having a conversation with the white boys. Y'all know the white boys that's on the show. And let me tell you something. The white boys on the show. Let me just say something really quickly. They at first they were setting each other up of being not in a relationship, but they were fighting in the first episode. Now they're just the best of friends. I call them the white boys. They're the best of friends. They're talking and stuff like that. And I'm just seeing all of this stuff that's going on with them. And I'm like, literally, you see these men, the white boys, just literally going at it, having a conversation. Now they're having a conversation, but at first they were fighting and rolling around in the grass. But then we get to Kerrion. He having this conversation with these guys, and they're literally forcing him, out of the closet. They're forcing this man. They're literally forcing this man to say something. He said, "This is suspect. What do y'all want to know? This is not right. Y'all are doing this like, yeah, this is suspect. Why do y'all need to know my business? I'm me." And then he finally say to the people that he's bisexual. Now you have to give credit to I have to give him credit, even though me and him don't see eye to eye, no pun intended. But I have to give credit to the Wiggins show because he had interviewed, he had played a recording of a guy that's no longer here, died from a drug overdose. I think he died from crack cocaine overdose. But he had played a clip of Kerrion, and then Kerrion was saying that he was having these orgies and they were doing crack cocaine and stuff like that. So we already knew that Kerrion was bisexual at best. We already knew that Kerrion was playing both sides, and usually he probably don't even deal with women. He probably just deal with men only. And usually when you get a person that's not comfortable in their sexuality, they will usually say I'm bisexual, because that's like the safest route to say, other than just saying you're strictly gay. But I'm not going to come at him like that, because I don't know, he probably deal with women and he probably deal with men. I know me personally, I deal with women, I deal with men. But you get these comments of these people coming up in the comments saying, "Oh my gosh, no, you're not. You're just gay." And I always say, like, do we sleep together? How do you know this? Do you follow me 24/7? Have you been around me? In my personal life, you just see me on camera. This is entertainment. You don't see me in my personal life. You don't know what goes on in my personal life like that. You just see me on YouTube whenever I go live. But you would get people to make these comments. So back to Carrion, he finally said he's bisexual. Even though I my heart, I kind of teared up last night, and I was tearing up. And the reason why I was tearing up, I'm like, they literally forced this man to say something. He didn't want to share that information. He wanted to keep that information private. But I personally believe Curtis is suspect, because Curtis, I believe that man, I think he was in prison, and I believe that Curtis, you know what I'm saying, probably got his ping licked on at the while he was in prison. And I just think like he's more so um he's more so um now Curtis is not more so than a Mola Mo. I think it's Molan. Mola is more not. I think he the one that went to jail. I'm sorry, not Curtis. Molan. I hope I'm saying his name right. Last name Mo. He that um the one that's been going around trying to force Carrion out, and then he uses Curtis as his backup. Curtis is the sexy one. Mulamo is literally the one that says straight P word. He said the P word. I don't want to say it. And I'm just hearing all this stuff that's going on. And he uses Curtis as his shield, as saying, "Oh, we straight," and this stuff like that. Curtis like laid back, cool. But Mulan, I'm sorry, Mulan, I hope I'm saying his name right, was the one that sucker punch Kerrion Franklin. He the one that did that. And also Kerrion Franklin is Kirk Franklin's son. And people were like, "How are you doing this?" But y'all gotta know, Kirk Franklin was addicted to porn. Now we don't know if it was gay porn or we don't know if it was straight porn. So it was a fact. I remember he did an interview with Oprah Winfrey, and he said he threw away the porn tapes and then he went back to the dumpster to get out the porn tapes because he had an addiction to porn. So when people say this have nothing to do with Kirk Franklin, I don't know, because when you go back to give credit to Armand Wiggins, and maybe I have him on our show. Maybe I text Armand and ask him, can he call in and speak on it? Um, the young man was playing Kirk Franklin music, and Kerrion said, "You're playing my the N word music. You're playing that music. You're playing my the M word. I don't want to say it because we want to keep this video monetized. Music." So maybe that do have something to do with it. And then Kerrion is so hurt with Kirk Franklin, he's in counseling. So I heard through the grapevine that Kirk Franklin touched Kerrion Franklin allegedly. I heard through the grapevine that that's his dealing. This is why he's upset with his father, because his father had touched him when he was a young preteen. That's the rumor on the street. All right. And I'm gonna just say allegedly. Now let's move on to the show. We're talking about Bad Boys of LA. So we get to the point where when Natalie Nunn calls, she contacts Milan Christopher, and Milan Christopher's in the room, and Anthony is in the room with him. They're having a conversation in the show. So Natalie called him and said, "Hey, we need all the bad boys. Y'all going out. No fights. This you with top celebrities." So Milan goes downstairs. She said, "Y'all bad boys, get ready." Kerrion Franklin didn't really. He dressed kind of basic. Um, we did see one of the baddie boys. He was dressed. I like how he was dressed. Let me make sure I get his name. Give me a Gutter always dressed good, but William the baddest was dressed with this money thing and stuff like that, with this thick money thing. He looked like he stink. But anyway, so they go to this bowling rink, and Natalie was like, "Yeah, all the celebrities in there, you know what I'm saying? Maybach, not Maybach music. Uh um Not Maybach music. Who was in there? Damn. London on the track. London on the track was there. It was one of them. So London on the track was there. And they get to the place, and William just shaking his butt. He just shaking his butt. I mean, that big butt is just flapping. So he was dancing on Mola and stuff like that. No, keep in mind, this is not a straight event. This is a straight event, and it's gay people from Bad Boys of LA there. So Mulan and was standing there, and then William was like twerking, trying to twerk on him, just shaking his ass up next to him. So Mulan told Curtis, said, "Hey, let's go outside. Let's have this conversation outside." So the cameraman following him outside. He was like, "Man, I'm just so weird. Like, William doing the most. Like, he know that we straight, and he just flapping his ass on me, and I'm not even with that. I'm not even with that. I'm straight. I have nothing against the gay community." And usually when people say that, they got something towards the gay community. Usually when people use that over and over, and then when they use this sentence in this phrase, "I have nothing against the gay community," usually they got a little something against the gay community. But he was just flapping it, and I'm like, what's the problem? Like, man, it's a party. Just walk away from him. But like, Mulan just always have an issue, and he's always bringing it up. He's all like he's been touched, or he deal with guys on the down low. Now, mind you, he was in prison, so he probably got his little Peter Pecker licked on, and I'm just tired of him. He's just so obsessed. With it, and William was like literally like the only guy was in there, really dancing and stuff like that. I would love to hang out with William the baddest, because he looked like he'd be the type of person that we'd be out having a good time. Now, mind you, with all that is going on, then they go back into the bowling alley. They up there party and stuff like that. Then it gets to the baby. That's when he was beating up uh uh the brother of Yellowbone. Yellowbone is what he want. that he was beating up her brother at the bowling alley, and you clearly see them just fighting. Now, mind you, this is the Bad Boys LA Zeus, right? They supposed to be there like fighting and stuff like that, but it was actually the baby. And I'm like, I would love to see the baby on Bad Boys LA, okay? Because he was in there definitely doing that. I'm like, I would love to see that for stuff like that because Danny Lay, brother was getting his tail beat at the bowling alley, and me just seeing the footage, you clearly can see that the baby he started it, and so we will definitely see he will have to pay some money, and we will definitely see how that's gonna play out and stuff like that. And then it goes to towards the next episode. It shows a preview of the next episode, and William supposedly leaked a picture. Now I don't know what picture William have leaked. I don't know what picture he leaked. I don't know if it was a video or was it a picture. I have no idea. But obviously he leaked something, and why he leaked it, somebody said that um it was a picture, somebody naked. I don't know. So we're gonna see what that's about next week. But overall, I give this episode a 5 because I'm so tired of Curtis and them. Like they don't have much of a storyline with the Bad Boys of LA. They kept just talking about Kerrion's sexuality. And I hope next week we don't mention that again because they so quick with this. Like they needed something else to talk about. So obviously we get into some other stuff that we can get into. And I'm just so tired of seeing Milan Christopher trying to dominate all this camera time. He's just so obsessed. He will never make it in television. He needs to stop. He's trash. He's too old. I don't believe the man is 32. I think he's close to 40, if not 40. He just so obsessed with the camera time. He's so obsessed with wanting to be on camera, like pretty much. He just want to be on this camera stuff. Like really, he just trying his best to be on camera. And I'm like, wow, like what are you doing here, bro? Like give it to the young people. Like what are you doing here? Like he gets on camera and he just try to dominate. He's just so desperate. You get some people like him that's so desperate for fame, and he act like he's so rich with that fake chain around his neck. He act like he's so rich, and he's not. Like he gets on bingo. If you were rich, I'm gonna say this: if you were rich, if I was rich, and you're making good money, why in the world would you be on bingo begging for beans and soup and starships and stuff like that? If you were rich, I'm just saying, if you were rich, why are you on bingo begging? I don't understand that. If you were rich, if you paid and stuff like that, why are you on this app? And mostly everybody call it bingo on this app, and you are begging for beams, begging for people to donate, and they say we beg. No, when you go on bingo, they actually beg for beams. They beg over there. They literally say, "Send me beams, send me beams, send me beams, send me some stars, send me beams." They really beg over there. Like we ask stuff over here. We ask very politely. We ask, "Hey, can send me the WrestleMania," and they send me the WrestleMania. We ask politely. But on bingo, oh, they're gonna beg you. They're gonna be begging you for money. They're going to beg you for beams, and you're gonna get that a lot. You're gonna see Tamar Braxton over there. You're gonna see Tony Braxton. Send me some beams. Send me a starship. Send me a diamond. Okay, you'll see all the Braxtons over there. Even they even got the mama over there begging. All right. I'm just saying. So they say Wiley big, and I said no, we don't be over there. But you see Jason Lee, and he supposed to be so rich and so famous and so booked and busy on all these properties. He over there begging. I'm like, you really see it over there, begging, 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 begging. So they want me to join bingo. And I'm like, hey, if you want me to join, hey, I'll join. And I will be over there begging. You calling me, I'll be over there begging too. I ain't got no problem with that. Okay. I don't have no problem with going over there begging. If you got it, you got to get your money and stuff like that. Like I wanted the people to send me to WrestleMania, and the people sent me to WrestleMania. Yes, they did. Okay. All right. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. They be over there begging. Y'all know what they saying. Y'all know who over there. Y'all know they be over there begging. Okay. And people been trying to get me to go over there um for a while and stuff like that. But over here you get good content, and every once in a while we will ask you for a coin. All right. Like somebody want me to play their boyfriend music on station here because we play music and we have a fan base. And they say, hey Wiley, you want to play the music? And I said, hey, yeah. So how much do you charge? I sent them my price, and so we'll see about it. And so if you're independent artist, if you want your music played on station here, send me an email, wileyshow@gmail.com. We will definitely play your music. If you need any sponsorships, let me make sure we do that little plug real quickly, because we won't have to beg if y'all become no. If y'all become sponsors and products and stuff like that. Okay, now we don't accept all products. So sometimes y'all be sending me some type of liquids and stuff like that. Like I don't do all products, so it have to make sense. I don't just grab everything. But if you do have a business, a t-shirt line, a business that you want to promote on the Wiley Show, send me an email at wileyshow@gmail.com. All right. Okay. WileyShow at gmail.com. All right. But yeah, they be over there begging. Evelyn be over there begging. You in your 80s, you over there. Send me, can y'all please send me some starships? And they be sending it too. Like them people be over there be sending that money. Come on now. And y'all come over here don't want to give. I seen some of the producers over there giving. I had to block one of the producers that was over on Bingo. She was giving good money, and I said, "Sis, how much do you give over at the Wiley Show?" I don't really give at you at the Wiley Show because Bingo taking all my money. And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna block you." And I had to block her. I had to give her a good old nasty block because I was offended that she's over there giving Milan Christopher all her check. And I said, "Ma'am, how much you giving the Wiley Show?" I give all my money to Bingo. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna have you a block. I don't even want to see you in the chat no more. I don't. I don't want to see you in my chat. You give your whole social security check to Milan Christopher, and you're giving it to you're giving it to the Jason Lee, you're giving them the Super Dragon and all that for $250. Like, you are no longer deserving to be in my presence. Don't text me, don't try to send me a phone call, don't try to tell me about your family. Don't be trying to tell me you're going through it. You need to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to you at all. Talk to Milan Christopher. I'm not answering my phone. You will get a block. All right. If I see you over there donating, you don't give over here, you will get a block over here at the Wiley Show. I don't play that. You're not gonna be over there donating to Tamar and them, sending them super dragons and starships and dinosaurs and dragon tails, and you don't give over here at the Wiley Show. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. You giving them glasses, starships, dragon tails, Barneys, whatever they give over there. You give your hard-earned money over there, and don't bring it over here at the Wiley Show. Something is wrong with you. Okay, used to giving them shields for $20 and can't give me $5, and you want to get on my phone and talk to me. No, talk to them over there that you gave them shields to. I want a shield. All right. I want a dragon tail. All right. I want you to send me a swing. All right. Have you been so in the bushes looking? I'll be over there, Bingo. I'll be over there. I'll be watching. I'll be seeing the producers over there sending them chairs and tables and stuff. Like, send me a chair and a table. All right, sending them gold plaques and golden rings, whatever they do over there. We could definitely was over there. Even I'm seeing in the chat, they saying Snoop Dogg. This man got millions of dollars and over there begging. I don't understand it. All right. Somebody said $5 and said, Here is a down payment for a shield for you, Wiley. A hot message read T said what T said. Thank you so very much for giving me that down payment. Come on, somebody. I love that. Thank you so very much. And y'all can follow behind in the super chat in the cash app as well. Can't be happy she's supporting other black. No, I'm not happy at all. I'm jealous. I'm a very jealous person. You give it to other people, and then you come into my face laughing and kikiing and ha ha, you would get a block. I don't mind blocking you. I don't mind blocking. All right? Because I cannot stand a person that's over here and you stingy. Giving your money all over to these other content and don't give it to the Wiley Show. Y'all know we need money to travel to go to other events and travel. Y'all know I can't hardly walk like that. I'm on crutches. I can't show y'all my crutches. I'm barely moving right now. But nevertheless, we are we are here this lovely morning. We are here this morning. I felt that right there today. Oh my gosh! I wish I had a piano keyboard player or organist, somebody that know how to play the keyboard. So if you are a keyboard player, email me at willeyshow@gmail.com. Oh yeah. Oh, I felt that right then and there. I felt that right then and there. Oh man, I feel like shouting this morning. It's just somewhere about this morning. I feel like shouting. I don't know what's going on right then and there. Okay, Wayne X sent a $5 super sticker. Also, I want to give a special shout out. Someone gave in the Cash App yesterday, and we want to greatly thank that person. Left me a beautiful message. They said, Wiley, I love you. They sent a donation, so we want to say thank you. And we're gonna travel more with y'all donations and stuff like that. Y'all see me at WrestleMania. I come back with some good content and stuff like that. And let me tell y'all, it was this one guy. I was at WrestleMania. Y'all sit on down. Don't leave. Don't leave. We ain't gonna rush y'all up because I know y'all at work. Somebody sent another super chat. Thank you. Somebody said, I don't want a nasty piece of block. Come on, JB. I was at WrestleMania and I was talking to this white guy. And we were talking about wrestling. And some just blinked up. I said, I really need to be covering these wrestling shows and covering it on the Wiley Show. But I know a lot of my core followers are not wrestling fans. So I would do the celebrity gossip as well as wrestling shows. I felt really good. I just felt really good talking to the guy. We were talking about Roman Reigns. We were talking about AJ Styles. And we was having an amazing conversation about the wrestling moves. It was just amazing. The guy was a very great guy. We was just having great conversations and it was just amazing. We was in there saying boo, yeah. We was just having a good time at WrestleMania. When he was standing up, I was standing up. He was sitting down, I was sitting down. We just had an amazing time. So I want to say special shout out to all of the wrestling fans, man. WrestleMania Raw. When I was watching, it was very boring to me, honestly. I did love Cody Rhodes. His promo was awesome, but Raw was just terrible, man. After WrestleMania, usually when I'm looking at a Raw after WrestleMania, I'm expecting the crowd to go, yeah. I'm expecting the crowd to go, this is awesome, boo. I'm expecting the crowd to go wild after WrestleMania. But unfortunately, they wasn't going as wild after WrestleMania. It just wasn't. It was definitely a letdown in my personal opinion because after WrestleMania, you expecting a high pitched show, and Raw wasn't delivering like that. So they need to really work on their writers and stuff like that. Somebody said, Carmel said, please don't block me, Wiley. Yes. I'm not a fan, but whatever you talk about, I'm here for it. Yes. And I would love to interview wrestlers and stuff like that. So we thank y'all for y'all donations and stuff like that. You know, my haters, they always say we got old church ladies. But one thing about an old church lady, they get a pension, they get a social security. They some even work from home. They got a job and stuff like that. They'll put you on a schedule giving, a schedule giver in which they will give on a schedule. So we want to say thank you to the people because they used to come at our people so hard and saying that our people, older church ladies and stuff like they would come at us so hard. But I do want to say y'all have tremendously got me back into doing YouTube. I love it again. I was able to go out. I was feeling a little down, feeling much, much better now. Had an amazing time talking with my doctor, my psych doctor. The medicine is doing okay. I'm doing much better because I'm leaving out like now when I'm done with the show, I'm going outside just to go get the mail, just to sit out on my balcony. So I'm gonna try to look for get a chair for my balcony so I can just get that fresh air to get outside the house because I've been in the house, and so now I'm just trying to do something outside while I'm walking around and stuff like. I can't really walk that much because I'm in excruciating pain, but try to get a chair where I can read my book and just get some good fresh air. So just amazing. But yeah, man, thank you. But we got other interviews lined up because I'm doing YouTube right now, entertaining y'all. That's why y'all see me so much now. I'm not just taking anything with these jobs because number one, I want you to pay me good. Okay. Number two, I want good benefits. Number three, I want to be able to sit down. I don't want to be doing too much on my feet because I can't, like, I'm just in, it's just terrible, man. I can't even, like, literally can't hardly move like I used to. Like, man, I'm just barely making it with moving around, like being mobile. And I have my crutches, I'm on my crutches, um, and stuff like that. So I'm just, but nevertheless, I get up and I do this show because I'm able to sit down, I'm able to entertain you guys and have a conversation. Most of y'all never met me, so hopefully by the time we go for Vegas, I don't have to have the crutches. So hopefully I can just, I'm gonna just suck it up so I can meet some of y'all, have an amazing people and stuff like that. But somebody said, what happened? Well, I'm on the crutches because I can't really stand on my leg. One of my legs that long. Excuse me 1 second while I blow my nose. 1 second. I can't really stand on my right leg for a long period of time because when I was born with cerebral palsy, mild cerebral palsy. And it's like a condition where I just get excruciating pains, aching pains. It really feel bad when it rains and when it snows. It really feel bad. I used to just walk and just walk with a limp, but now as I've gotten older, I've noticed that I can't hardly move around and stand on it like I used to. And so now I have to use crutches to help me get around and use crutches. So I took a big blow financially because I used to work and stand up and do stand up jobs, but I can't really do that anymore because I have to use the crutches to hop around and stuff like that. And it's been like this for a while. Really can't move around like I used to. Like I have struggles to move around for it. And even trying to get from like the third floor to the first floor, it is a struggle. Um, it's just, yeah, it's just a struggle, like all over. It's just really, really a struggle, and I get through it. And some days I'm just in excruciating pain. You know what I'm saying? I put the after salt. I've done everything: after salt, oil, CBD, everything that people was giving me suggestions from across the country. But it's a surgical. I have to get surgery to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But I just do it. I don't really complain about it because I'm like, if you complain, then you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. And then it adds to the depression. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought that I have to have crutches and can't hardly move around, hopping around. Uh, I've never thought that I would live like this at 31 years old, but it is where this is where I'm currently at and trying to um find jobs and stuff, and hopefully I get the surgery. So and I want to say this, and this may be so wrong to say because I got a lot of black people that are Democrats. I got a lot of black people in here that love President Obama. I love Michelle Obama. I love President Obama. I love them. Side note, but yesterday they did a celebration for the Affordable Care Act. They're celebrating this landmark act. And I signed up for the Affordable Care Act, and it was almost $300 a month that I would have to pay for insurance on the Affordable Care Act. Now, I don't know about your finances, but my finances, affordable is like $30. Affordable is like $40, but $300 a month for insurance, and then you have to pay a deductible and all of that. That's not affordable. And I know a lot of people that love President Obama. I know a lot of people that love President Biden, but let's be perfectly clear. That's not affordable. And that's like one of the biggest lies that Democrats have ever said to Americans. They said this is affordable. Affordable is $5 a month, $10 a month. That's affordable for me, but paying 300, that's just too expensive. 300, then plus having car insurance, paying rent. That's just, I can't afford it. It's just I just can't. For a week, and people think I make a lot of money from YouTube, and I don't. I don't make a lot of money from YouTube, right? We don't get big enough views like that. We don't have a big enough challenge. And then I know some other people, they're struggling. I was talking to another content. I'm not gonna say no names. I don't like putting people business out there. They were struggling with their YouTube. The money was a little fickle. So now they going live 4, 5, 6 times a day just to make ends meet. And I said, yeah, man, and it burns you out when you do like 3, 4, um, 5. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 a month and stuff, and then on lives you get burned out. Like doing them many lives, that's a lot. That was a lot of lives. Doing them many videos, baby, you don't have no life. You get burned. You literally get burned out. Doing all that, just pushing out content and stuff like that. But $300 for insurance is expensive for me. Many people say, "Oh, that's not expensive. I can do that." Well, you probably can afford that. I can't. I can't. Paying that car insurance, and thank God that my car is paid off. Thank God my car is paid off. But rent went up. Expensive. Um, uh, uh, you got to pay rental insurance. You got to pay your cell phone bill. You got to pay the internet bill. I have cut back a lot because I cut back with all these streaming services. I've done a massive cutback. Like I cut my Netflix. I cut some other streamers. Only streaming service I have is like Peacock and Zeus. Because I watched that, but that's it. I've done a massive budget cut, so I can get on the Affordable Care Act and get some surgery and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's out here. But I do thank God for my producers, for y'all help, for y'all suggestions. Some of y'all have reached out to me privately. Were sending me leads for like sit down jobs, and I personally want to thank each and every one of you all. One particular sister just sent me an amazing leads. One particular person said, "Let me look over your resume. I'm a hiring manager. Let me see what you need to work on your resume because all on my resume is like CNA stuff. So we trying to juice it up to be catering towards like customer service, like sit down, like customer service jobs. So yeah, man, I just personally want to thank y'all. Like the producers, y'all have just been a blessing to me, and I can't thank y'all enough. Y'all watch me every day. My audience love us. I don't care what I'm talking about. You want to see me go live, and I finally know that now. Because at one point I used to say, "Don't nobody watch me. Don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody watch my show. I have a show that don't nobody watch." I used to say that a lot, and now for these past couple of days and weeks, I've noticed. I have people that really care about the Wiley Show, really watch us and watch our show, and miss me when I go live. Don't go live. Like when I don't go live, I get messages like this: "Where you at? You need to go live. Drag this person. Go live. Where you at? We miss you. When you going live? I only watch you. You're my only content creator that I watch." And I get these messages, and it's just a reminder. I'm like, oh my God, there's people that really like to watch the Wiley Show. Ain't that amazing? Like my prayers was answered. People watch this show. And I want to say personally thank you. Then you tune in and you see people, they do videos about you, and they like, this is amazing, right? And I have to open my eyes up to see that. Sometimes, most people, you want to be so much bigger, you forget about what you have in front of you. So I want to thank you, all of the people that come out and show me love and show this show love and watch our videos. I do thank you. When we take a break, y'all are there. Like our core audience are there. Like it's just y'all, the core audience are there. And I just want to personally want to say thank you. Yeah, thank you. Y'all definitely there. And so that's how I'll say, let me come back, speak to my producers. Let me get my crippled soul leg up here, even though it's sore. But I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna do a video, and I want to say special shout out to Zeus. Uh, just amazing, man. I would love to host Bad Boys LA. It's a good product, good show, but they could have worked on the storyline a little bit. I miss Andrew Carwell. I think he's missing because let me say this about the show really quickly before we take any phone calls. Um, he was a big key point of the show because the drama what he would have brought would have been more entertaining than just Kerrion Franklin sexuality. You know what I'm saying? So I think once Andrew Caldwell said he's not doing the show anymore, the producers kind of scrambled with storylines. They're scrambling with the cast for storylines because they were banking on having Andrew Caldwell there to bring some drama. He would have brought a lot of drama, but now he's not there. And now you got to have other people step up, and they just got to team up on Kerrion Franklin. It's just sad. They said Miss Kitty said, "Here's a little something for your surgery fund. Love you, Wiley. Come through, producers. Thank you so much, Miss Kitty, for your amazing donation. Thank you." And so that's what I think they're just scrambling. I know if I was on there with my crutches, and they would have just been roasted. But it would have been something new, man. It would just been something fresh. Man, when I tell you, like when I look at Andrew, they could have just talked about him being a church queen, him going back and forth, the jokes, the comedy would have been on point. But yeah. Somebody said, guess while he found out how much the surgery is, I'm definitely gonna do that. And I'll bring it back to y'all producers. I'm gonna find out and get a price for y'all for that. Sorry, Chad, I can't type as fast as you. My messages are in my part. Well, thank you. But yeah, he took the check and he bounced. You know what I'm saying? He took the check and he bounced. And I think the show is like missing that. You know what I'm saying? I was tuning in. I'm like, man, where's Andrew Caldwell? Like you said, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on Milan Christopher because I just got a DM. Somebody said, why are you hating on Milan? I'm not hating on Milan Christopher. What Milan Christopher did to me personally hurt my feelings. When he was on Love and Hip Hop and he was doing interviews, he refused to come on the Wiley Show. And we had a conversation, said it won't be a good look, blah, 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 throwing shade. That hurt my feelings because as a new radio personality, YouTuber, whatever you want to call me, then I needed something to make my show pop. And that would have been a good thing to make it pop, getting somebody that's on television on your show, good ratings. And he did not do that. And that hurt my feelings. I'm over it now. And now I can just kind of roast and gag them and roast them now. But that did hurt my feelings. I cried. I broke down in tears because it really hurt my feelings. You know, it's one thing to say that behind a person's back, but it's another thing to say it on the phone call. It hurt my feelings when I was promoting him, bringing him on my show. And when he was a rapper and doing music, I would bring him on the show, bring him on talking about not wrestling, talking about the ballroom scene, etc. And when he got on television, he would do interviews. He was at the Breakfast Club, and I said, "Can you do the Wiley Show?" And he said, "It's not a good look for his brand," and that hurt my feelings, and I cried. And I will never forget. I was in the car with my co-host Flash Gotti at the time, and I cried. I was hurt, man. Yeah, I literally was in tears that he did that to me, and that he did that to it was just literally a slap in my face, man. But most people didn't know he was a rapper. Like I said, he rapped. I'm like, yeah, man, I've known that for years because I would play his music on blogs already. The same number I got 646-716-8447. He would call in and we would have conversations, and you know, when he was quote unquote made it, he threw shade. And that's why now I show love to the new up and coming talent. If anybody want to interview me or any YouTuber that got advice, or if any YouTuber got something to say, I try to take time to respond and give my advice. I was on the phone with another up and coming YouTuber trying to get into the business, and he was asking for my advice about reviews, and I was giving him I was literally giving him my advice because I said when I was coming up, people didn't really give me advice. I've known some people that came on my show and I asked them for advice, and it goes in one ear out the other. They don't give me no advice, no type of strategy, no strategy meetings, no nothing. It just going one ear out the other, and it's okay. But I said, whenever I make it to that other place, I'm gonna always reach back and help others and pay it forward. But I can just imagine. I've talked to some great ones that been on this show and asked for some advice, and it's just crickets. Like what? What? I've done it. I've had conversations with some of your top talent out there, and then I've had some that give me great advice. Like shout out to Tasha K, uh, another amazing content creator, and also I have to say shout out to Daytime Tea Time, another great sister that give great advice. Yeah, they give great advice. Now, I do charge for like mentorship. I do charge for that. But if you just ask me a simple little question, yeah. But if you say, "Hey, Wiley, I want you to be my, I want you to be my mentor," and I do charge you that because I have to because it's a lot of time and stuff like. So, shout out to the people that do reach out to us. We love you, Wiley. Your humor is refreshing during the trying times. You keep laughing. Thank you. And yesterday we had a good show yesterday too. But yeah, I just want to say when you do the show, when I was watching Bad Boys LA, I said, man, I would love to be on that show. I would love to. I mean, if I was on that show, man, they would have to replace the glass table. Um, the walls would have been it would have been some broken walls. I'd have been throwing some cups and plates. Um, that would have happened. I'm going to tell you that right in the air. I would have destroyed that house. I just it is what it is. I would have destroyed it, and I probably would have got sued from Zeus for damages of $10,000 plus. Like I would have really had some serious damage because, like Milan Christopher, I'm going all in, man. Um, it would have been an amazing show. Somebody said, "Mom, myself, and I, we got you, Wally. Thank you so very much, man." It would have been yeah, it would have been some good viral moments on the show. I will tell you that, man. And once I would have saw Milan Christopher, um, yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand your perspective, so I don't want to diminish that. But I personally will respect it if a person said to my face, going behind my back, saying those things. Yeah, that's I agree. I agree because when he said it, it was a teachable moment, and I said, "I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna like my show's gonna be in a place of having an audience, and now I can talk about it now, and now people can send it to Milan Christopher and stuff like that. And people are sending to him like, "What did you do to Wiley?" and stuff like that. Yeah, he may not remember, but baby, I remember. I'm going to share that story. I'm going to be 99 years old, going live, talking about how Milan Christopher tried what he said to me and how he hurt my feelings. I might be 105 years old talking about it. All right. We definitely gonna talk about it because during that time when I started, doing it, I was just on Blog Talk Radio, and it was a small show. It was like 10 people, one person. I remember one time we did an episode. It was only two listeners. Two listeners, yeah. And I would cry. Shout out to Sonny Monroe from Chicago. He would have a radio show. He would have all the gays on his show, and it was popular. And he had a popular product on Blog Talk Radio because back in Chicago, we would have shows on Blog Talk Radio, and that's how we connected with shows. So Sonny Monroe, he had a gay family, and his family was the Monroe family. And he would get all the gays, and he would say, "Y'all go on Wiley Show, that boring show." So I need to change up my product. And so I just became this messy person. I did something different that Sonny did not do. I would get a camera and I would do sit down interviews. I would talk to people. Um, and we would have conversation. I would go to house parties and interview the gays. And that was typically my show. Like it wasn't celebrity gossip. It was just literally interviewing the gays. I remember I was exposed to people's statuses. Like I did all that stuff. I was very ruthless. I remember one time um we had interviewed a guy and he was a drug addict. He was a gay guy. He was on drugs. He was addicted to drugs, and I grilled him so for being on drugs. That man broke down in tears. I wish I had all this old footage, but I don't have it. he literally broke down in tears. He was so hurt because I grilled him for being on drugs. I grilled him. I just talked about him so bad on the air, and he literally just cried. Like he literally broke down in tears when he went live on his Facebook, and he just cried to this audience. He said, Wiley, I can't believe that man just came at me like that. He just literally broke down. He probably was high when he was crying, but he just really, you know what I'm saying? He really did that, man. It was something, man. I was really ruthless back in the day because I was trying to find myself. I was really trying to find myself when I was coming through, man. I was definitely I was very ruthless back then. I was very messy. I remember people wanted to beat me up. Like they literally would go to my cousin, and because he was out in the streets, going to clubs and stuff like that. And they was like, I'm coming to beat up your cousin. I'm coming up there. And then they would dox my address and I'm coming to your apartment on it, and I'm gonna come and get you. And I threatening messages, man. And I will go out, but typically when I go out, nobody ever tried to fight me because I'm 6'2". Um, that I always bring a camera, and they would be mad at me, but I would come up to them and be like, "Hey, how you doing? We got such and such from the house of blah blah blah. How you doing?" And I would interview them and just have the camera and stuff like that. And yeah, it'd be nice. But then when they get back home, I say something that they was trash or their makeup was trash. They would like diss me and stuff like that. And then when I knew that people was like looking to like fight me, I would not go outside. I was just literally stay in the house. I won't go to the club, stay in the house and stuff like that. That's what I would do, man. I would just literally stay in the house and won't go outside. Like my cousin would go outside, and he would get all like they would just come to him. So when I see your cousin, it's on and popping. And but yeah, man, I've always, man, that was like before I would go live on YouTube. That was like when I would upload videos on YouTube. And man, it was really rough back, what I'm saying, back in the day, in those Chicago streets, man. Because back in Chicago, the gays, we would have house parties. You know what I'm saying? And them house parties would be in the rough areas. I mean, in the hood. Right on. It was one house party on 118 in Wallace, and it just be in the hood, and people be in the basements, and it just in the hood. And the guys would just come. We would just be at these house parties, and I would bring my camera, take pictures. I would interview. I wish I had all that footage, but I don't have it because I deleted that old channel. It had all my archives on there. But yeah, man, that's what we would. That's what we would do, man. Yeah, that was back. That was that was back in the day. I didn't get run out by the gays. Like my family ran me out of Chicago. Um, yeah, that they my family like ran me out of Chicago. Like nobody messing with Wiley. Like my family ran me out of Chicago, and it was meant for me to be here. You know what I'm saying? More at peace, have my own place, have an audience of people that really love me and really care about me. Um, um, but yeah, it was my family that ran me out of Chicago, man. Yeah, man. Order protections. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can go on and on. I go on and on about it. But I wasn't like Tory Lanez. I never violated my order of protection because, like, once I got the order of protection, because I got two of them, I researched the order of protection where you couldn't be on social media. You can't go on your social media account talking about them, or you can't contact them through a third party. I was real ruthless before the order of protections, and the reason why I got it because they wanted me out of the house, out of my grandma's house. They wanted me to move, and they couldn't kick me out because I had mail and I'm a resident. You gotta evict me. So one of the police officers from District 7, this Inglewood baby, he said, "Why don't y'all just get order of protection to get him out?" And so they went to court, and my grandmother got an order of protection. And I remember when I was served from the police, and they said, "You can't live him anymore. You got to leave." So I was homeless. That was the first time in history I was homeless. And I moved with my co-host at the time. She was a transgender woman. We stayed together. and she let me live with her for a little while. And then Tay called me and he said, "Hey, I need to." He said, or he asked me, "Was I on drugs?" I denied. I said, "I'm not on drugs." I had bronchitis really bad. I couldn't hardly talk like that. Like my throat, I was coughing up yellow mucus. It was a mess. Wasn't drugs, but he called me and he said, "I will send you a plane ticket," but he didn't have enough for the plane ticket. So he sent me a bus ticket back to he's a bus ticket to Dallas, and that's how I got here in Dallas because my cousin um, was staying here in Dallas. He had an apartment with him and his friend, and that's how I got here in Dallas and stuff like that. So I was in Dallas, was broke, but the only thing that I had was a CNA license, where I transferred my CNA license from Chicago to Dallas, and that's how I was able to work in nursing homes because I had to see. So that's the only good thing I thank God that I did when I was in Chicago. I completed a program, the CNA program, and I took my state board and I passed it. So I was kind of glad because that was something that I was able to fall back on. And so we was in Dallas. I was able to get the bronchitis and everything taken care of. And then then I had to go respond because if you get order of protection in Chicago, you have a court date where you have to answer that order of protection. You got to go in front of the judge, and if you don't, they put out a warrant out for your arrest. So I had the order of protection. They had the order of protection. So I went to court, and first of all, when I went back to Chicago, I got sick. I got really, really sick. And went to the hospital, and they said, "Well, you got to stay here for a couple of days. You're not well." And I said, "Listen, I gotta leave. I cannot stay here. I gotta go to the court." "Well, can we call the courthouse?" I said, "You can't call. I gotta go." So I made there just in time to answer the court the court order. So get to the courthouse, and I see my grandmother. They call our case up. I get up to the judge, and my grandmother is there, and then my uncle, which is a pastor of a church, been a pastor, uh, he was there, and we was talking in front of the judge, and he said he violated. He's calling my church members. He's doing all this. He violated, and I said, well, I told the judge, I said, well, I don't have an order of protection with my uncle. I have order of protection with my grandmother, and I haven't contacted her at all. So the judge was like, hold on, sir. He told my uncle, and then he was like, the judge was like, well, we're gonna serve you in open court. And so the judge served me an open court of that order of protection. So I had two of them. So I had the time to sit down and read before I was able to sit down, he was telling the judge he already violated the order of protection. And then the judge told him, sir, he did not violate it because he wasn't served with you. Calm down. And he said, we need to know where he's staying. I said, Your Honor, I don't know. I don't need them to know where I stay at. That's not none of their business. I'm not legally obligated to tell him where I stay. He don't need to know. That ain't none of his business. And we just was going back in front of the judge, and I told the judge, I said, listen, Your Honor, I'm not gonna come back. I can't come back to court and try to fight this. I don't have any money. I'm broke. I just financially, I just can't do it. So she said, well, we'll just put it in for 2 years. You can't contact your uncle. You can't contact your grandmother for 2 years. So that was going on for 2 years. I couldn't contact them. And of course, them 2 years been over. But I was able to sit down and read the documents on my uncle because I knew what my grandmother document said, that I can't be around, I can't call because I was cussing him out on social media, and I was cussing, I was mad, I was mad. They was really really mad because it's a church, so I'm just cussing out the church members. I'm cussing at my uncle, he's a pastor. I'm cussing out all these church members, cussing everybody out on Facebook. This is before I was really on YouTube, like really known as a YouTuber. And I wish I had that old Facebook page back because that's pure comedy. And I'm just cussing at the police, and that's why they was able to get the order of protection. They was able to use them old videos and timestamps of me just cussing them out on social media. So my uncle, I was contacting like different churches that he was associated with. So I remember he posted, he got in the court documents that I can't be around a dog, and he said, "Oh, my relationship, my image as a pastor is severely damaged. No, it said my reputation as a pastor is severely damaged." Yeah, I think that's what he said in the court. And he said you can't be around a dog. Now I remember when I called my stepfather and I said, "Man, they put the dog," and he said, "Well, what'd you do to the dog?" I said, "I didn't even know they had a dog, to be honest." But yeah, man, that was history. So it was really, really a tough story, man. That was going on. And to this day, I haven't talked to my uncle. Like the last time I talked to my uncle, well, last time I really talked to him was when he told his son, which is my cousin, to see me out. He kicked me out of the house, like because I was in there. I was going back and forth, and he said I got kicked out. It was just we was arguing. It was just what it was. We had a whole argument, man. We was really arguing. So I've done some stuff. We was just it was just my mouth was just ruthless, man. You'd have thought that I kidnapped somebody, but it was just my mouth was just that ruthless. And yeah, that's all this stuff happened. And I was able to move here to Dallas and been here, been at peace and stuff like that. And that's been what 4 or 5 years. I don't know the exact time. I gotta check the date. Been here for a little while. Been here in Dallas, Texas. So I'm loving it here. Chicago will always be home, but once I was able to get out of that, it was some freedom. I feel so much better. But no, I didn't know they had a dog. Because somebody asked a question, you didn't know. Because when I was talking and going back and forth arguing with them, they didn't have a dog. They got the dog once I moved to Dallas. Yeah, they got the dog once I moved to Dallas. They got the dog. So, and they had put the dog in the order of protection because back then I would call the ambulance, I would call the police to their house. I would call the fire trucks to their house. I would leave voice message. I wasn't in my right mind. As I look back now, I was manic. I was pissed. I was angry. I would leave voicemails. Say, I'm going to take over the church. I'm the new pastor. I will leave emails. I will call and text. I will call members in the middle of the night, say, y'all doing this wrong. All this stuff it was our mess. So I know why, he don't call, but he don't talk to me now. But I will tell y'all this. Uh my mother shared something on social media because her and my uncle, that's her brother, that's her oldest brother. They were beefing. So she posted something on Facebook and she said, my relationship with my son's kind of tarnished due to you, and she called me and I called her and she called me and I said, did you ever clear that? Did you ever ask him what happened? She said, yeah, I asked him. He said he don't want to talk about it. I said, well, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about that because we haven't talked. You know what I'm saying? The last, like, we haven't, man. And I will tell you, I was so close with him because I looked at him as a father. I was his armor bearer. I used to cut the church grass. I would be the video operator of the video camera. I would help sell the DVDs. I would work in the kitchen. I work in the finance department. I would have keys to the church, locking the church up, open the church doors. I would direct the choir. I was very active. But I think what really messed up my relationship, I think when my uncle and I, kind of the way it hurt my feelings, is when he set me down as a choir director because he said, you were gay and you can't direct the choir. Like that was the most devastating thing ever. And that hurt my feelings because I loved it. I love directing choir. I love singing. I love being in the church. So I think once that happened, and once he said that to me, um, that hurt my feelings. That was very devastating. Once we had that conversation, because he said I can't have that spirit leaping on other members. It was really bad, and then that's when our relationship turned sour, because I just think it wasn't right. Because I'm like, you have other people that have been doing things and was doing things, and then once I found out that my sister was violated, by a member of the church, and I put it out there publicly. And if you do some digging, you will find it. But I put it out there publicly, and I didn't know what else to turn. I just went to social. I literally went to social media. As I look back at now, I would handle it differently. I would just handle it whole behind closed doors. But I turned to social media. I turned to Facebook. I turned to my social media pages, and I put the information out there that he covered this up, and my sister was violated, and another member was violated by this man in the church, and that wasn't right. And I don't think we should cover it up. And so I was calling all that out. So it was a lot of things that were going on during that time. Um, it was really rough. So I don't think maybe for the rest of my life, or probably for the rest of my uncle's life, we probably would never talk. I don't know. I don't think we will ever sit down and have a conversation. Hopefully, one day we will sit down and have a conversation. But it won't surprise me if we doesn't, because we've been at odds just for years now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But as I look at it now, I've done what I've done wrong. I shouldn't have went to social media about it, because I did. I was wild. I was a wild card. And if I take it all the way back, I wouldn't have went on social media about it. But I didn't. But as I look at it now, I wasn't well. I wasn't. I can put that in there too. I wasn't. In was in my right mind. I wasn't very manic. As I can look back at it now, I know that I wasn't in my right mind. I was manic. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I had a manic episode, um and so hopefully they'll be able to notice that. But you growing up in a religious family, they're not gonna see eye to eye. But one thing I can say out of all of that, I was kind of glad that I was able to bridge that, repair that relationship with my grandmother. I was glad that I was able to talk to her, though she got sick, and we started to talk and watch movies. Before she got sick, she didn't want to see me, because the church, and it was hurtful. And that was before she had a stroke. But then when she got sick, she got nice. We was able to talk and stuff like that. She was sweet. But before, like, when I went to Chicago that time, I was like, my mother told me, "Oh, she don't want to see you because she don't like what you said about the church and stuff like that." And that's like the last time I saw her, like, walking by herself without a walker and stuff. And then after that, about a couple of months after that, she had a stroke. And so I recently went to Chicago and talked to her, and now we talked and we watched movies, we laughed and stuff like that. And it's just amazing, just an amazing relationship to have with her now. But yeah, definitely amazing. But I will tell you, it's definitely been going through a lot. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, definitely it's the uncle relationship important. It's very important to me because you have to understand, I grew up in the church, and it was some mistakes. I grew up in the church. So I was very active in the church, and I loved the church. You know what I'm saying? I loved God. I loved the church. And having that hurt really destroyed me. And it's taken me to get older to realize that that wasn't God that hurt me. That was just people that did it. It wasn't God. It was people that did it. And so now I have to realize that it wasn't God. And so for a long time, I haven't stepped foot in the church in years because of that hurt, that experience. But now I'm getting back and getting myself back into the church, and looking at other churches to see where I'm gonna go, and finally going out shopping to get like a suit for church, and just doing that, and get back into church. But I was hurt. I was angry. I was hurt. Man, I was so angry. I was rough. I was ruthless. I was ruthless. I think I got an old video. Do I have an old video I can play, y'all? Let me see. Cause this one I contact. Do y'all want to hear this old video? I contact, but she's no longer living. Give me see something. Let me see. Because I contacted a church member. Do I still have that recording? I'm just about to see it. I still have, and she died. That's Mother Price. She had died, and I did a whole thing for her. I was telling people how important she was in my life. Let me see. Do I still have that? I don't know what I did with it. Hold on, let me see something. I want to see if y'all can see it. Because I called. Oh my gosh. If I can find it, I'm going to play it for y'all. I know I have it here somewhere, but I don't know. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if this one here. If I find it, I'll play it for y'all, you guys. If I can find it. Hold on, is this it? Oh no, I gotta find it. I would play it and let y'all hear it. Oh, I didn't even know I had these old videos. Oh, that's a video of me and Armando Wiggins. I played that already. We were so freaking entertaining together. Oh, here you go. Let me see.
Come. But my point is, they the one, Bishop Cartwright, Mother Dora L. Crusoe, and Ollie D. Williams told me I couldn't go.
I understand.
And we had a conversation.
Trying to get a program started. She really trying to copy after me. And the program never got off the ground.
Who was that?
Sister Milan, she's trying to get all the Kerrion insurance program going or something like that. And one day she called me and we talked. And she hung up. But she had another sister on the other line that I didn't know. So when she called me, she took back over the other sister and hung up. So I heard them talk. I ain't gonna go into what they were saying, but they were talking about me like I was somebody I didn't even know. Marla was, but the other sister wasn't. So the sister was trying to defend me. So no, she ain't like that. She didn't do blah, whatever. But Marla was down to me like on the what. But anyhow, I heard it. So when she knew I was on the line, my phone wrong. And she said, did you hang up on our mother Price? Oh, I don't know. So that time I hung the phone up, but I heard everything she said. So she never, Sister Marlo did not like me because of my program. She said we're going to come down. So God, we're going to talk. They really wanted the program to close down.
But why? But Mother Price, I don't understand why True Church of Holiness even wanted to tear the program down. I mean, why? Why didn't you put it a part of the True Church of Holiness? I mean,
I didn't. It was never part of it. I just had the program going there because I had no place then. He told me to turn it over to the church one night in a business meeting. And I said no. And he kept pressing me. My husband was not going to work. My husband working night then. So I did turn it over to him, over to the church. But when I called my husband called me back from work, I told him what happened. He said, no, you can't do that. He said, you said the Lord gave you the FCA 10. They called him back and told him you can't do that. When I called him back and told him, my husband told me not to do that, to keep it, because the Lord had given it to me. You know what he told me?
What he told you?
He said, you're going into the pits of hell.
Oh, my God.
So ever since then, they was like they're trying to send me to the pits of hell, trying to close the place down.
So this I'm going to tell you how messy this is, because I call this old church mother of the church. I'm going to give y'all the backstory. She just passed like 2 years ago. She passed like a year ago. I think a year ago. Was it like a year, almost 2 years ago? Yeah, she passed away. But I'm going to give y'all a backstory. So My uncle will always diss her. Like he the pastor of the church. He will always diss her like in the over the church and stuff like that. And so now she's telling about a situation where she owned her own place to give out food to the homeless. She owned her own or nonprofit. So my uncle wanted her to put the nonprofit to the church hands. And so she said no. My husband said no, we're not going to do that. And so according to her, my uncle told her, you're going to go to the pits of hell. So I'm just interviewing her. She did not know that I recorded her. She did not know that I recorded her. She didn't know that. But you know, I was angry, so I had called her. And another thing that reason why I called her because and you're hearing in a recording because my uncle said she left the church because she was a lesbian. And another member left the church to follow her because she was a lesbian. So that was like the rumor that he was putting out over the church. And this is like over the church. This ain't none secret. This ain't no he say she's this is like this is what he said over the church. And so I called her and I recorded the call. And when I recorded the call, I sent it to all the ex-members, church members, ex-members. I was sending it to everybody. And the reason why I did it, I was hurt. Like I was like a chick. I was like a woman that was church hurt. Like a woman that was cheated on and she got a vandella and she's trying to get you back. I felt hurt. And so I was recording and I sent it to everybody. I sent it to everybody that I could find and I sent it to everybody. And so my uncle he said a lot of this stuff over the church, you know? And so very, very, I think that it wasn't right. And I think my uncle need to work on that because he would share people's personal business over the pulpit. And so now it's kind of hard for me not to share people's business because he would share it over the pulpit. You know, he would share it over the pulpit. So I'm going to play a little bit more of this and let y'all hear about it. But the reason why I recorded her, only thing I feel bad now because she died, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like, I want to apologize to her and say, hey, Mother Price, I didn't mean to record you. That wasn't right to record you. But hey, I just wanted people to see like what was going on. I was scorned. Yes, I was scorned. And I felt that I wasn't being heard. So I was mad at my grandmother because she didn't defend me with the church. I was angry. I was very angry. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and y'all can hear it. Oh God, I don't know why I'm doing this. I know I'm gonna get a phone call, but it's the Wiley Show.
He wanted to program himself. Mm-hmm. So see, I got some ain't no sense stories. I got some truth too. And I tell the truth, I'm not a liar. I ain't like lying before I got saved, honey. I hated lying before I got saved. I was a sinner and son of do sins for things I was lying. But when the Lord saved me, I remember being on the altar. When the Lord, glory to God. Thank you,
Yes,
Jesus.
hallelujah.
Yeah, Lord, help me, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I was on the altar.
Yes,
when the Lord filling with the Holy Ghost, my key.
Yes,
and I
Lord.
remember saying to myself, I ain't got to lie no more. Ooh, I was so thankful to the Lord that I had to lie. I don't like liars. I don't like lying.
Because
so I'm not a liar.
Because Mother Price.
I tell you, it's gonna be the truth.
Because one of the main things is like when we were talking, when me and Bishop Carrion were talking about you, he was share like they wrote a letter. They used this church name to build the FCHN. Used my connections with the bishops and pastors. And then she decided once she outgrew the True Church of Holiness, after she used my connections, then that's when she started the FCHN.
No, baby, no, that's not.
Like did it in
None
the
of that is true. None of that
and
is
that's
true.
why you went to the Freedom Temple Church God in Christ, because you had did the FCHN and True Church of Holiness. You think you outgrew the church because it was too small. That's what Bishop Cartwright said. He said that Mother Price left True Church of Holiness because it was too small for her platform. And I told her she can't keep taking over, doing all these programs every week in the church, getting all this glitter and stuff in the church, bringing all these people inside the church. Because I remember Mother Price when I was a little boy. You would have these get-togethers, passing out, toys and clothes and everything.
Right.
I remember that. That's all I know about Mother Price. This whole thing, Mother Price being a lesbian and Sister Catherine House being a lesbian, that came from Bishop Melvin Cartwright.
But you have to pay for all this shit.
But you know what? You know what? Who he gonna have to pay it with? With me, Marquise Wiley, because we going to court.
Well, y'all go on to court.
And then I'm going to have to subpoena you, Mother Price. I'm going to have to. Mother Price. I'm going to have to subpoena you to give your story, and under oath, you're going to have to tell the truth on why you left. On why you left the True Church of Holiness. I want you got to say it under oath why you left True Church of Holiness, because this beef between me and True Church of Holiness, this is real. This is not fake. This is not fake news. This is real. They label you, Mother Price, a lesbian. They label Catherine House a lesbian. When Marquise Wiley left True Church of Holiness, they label Marquise Wiley gay, a sissy, and then Charmin.
Are you going to subpoena me to their house too?
Huh?
Are you going to subpoena me to their house too?
Catherine House would be subpoenaed as well, because he said, quote, Bishop Cartwright said, quote, over the via pulpit at the True Church of Holiness. Wait a minute. He said, Catherine House came in my office. His office was right by the pulpit. And that little thing they made into the audio room came in there and said to me, I can't be here without Betty. She called your first name. So Bishop Cartwright said to Catherine House, if it would have been anybody else, I would have understand. They said when you left Betty Price, that Sister Catherine House couldn't sing, that stopped singing because her lesbian lover, Betty Price, is gone.
Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Oh, baby, please, honey, come on.
And
he's not true to that. You know what, Marquise? I didn't even know she was leaving. Matter of fact, she had left before I did. He got it back, but I didn't know she was leaving, and she didn't know I was leaving, because I didn't know I was leaving, Marquise, until the night before we left. My husband was the only way it was. One Saturday evening, and he called me back and said, baby, get the letter together. He's already talking about leaving, but he said, I said, baby, what? I said, I really don't want to leave. He said, baby, the balance for the wife going to be the husband, right?
Yeah.
So he said, get the letter together, so we're going to leave. So we ain't going to be there no more. But I ain't talked to House about nothing like that. She ain't talked to me about nothing, because she know nothing about what I was doing. She don't know about, I ain't know nothing about what she was doing. You see how backward y'all see on the line he telling? He messing his own stuff up out of your uncle is in serious trouble with God for all these lies.
But you know what, Bishop? But you know what, Betty Price? Bishop Melvin Cartwright is just not upset with God. He is going to have a lawsuit by Marquise Wiley, because everything that he's
another problem for him.
That's going to be, and I'm suing the True Church of Holiness. They're going to have to pay me at least $100,000.
And where they going to get it from?
And they're going to have to sell the church. The church going to have to go out of business, because I already...
Wait a minute. I don't remember I said that. Did I say that? Wait. So I said I'm going to sue the church for $100,000. And what am I saying? Where they going to get it from? Oh my gosh, I was manic when I wouldn't tell y'all this. I remember I called her. I was mad because I wasn't sleeping, and I just found her number and I called her. So, and she's no longer living. May she rest in peace. But let me go ahead and play us a little bit more of this. Here we go.
I told my lawyer, he said, what do you want to sue the True Church of Holiness for? I want to sue them for $100 million lawsuit. $100 million. He said, I know that.
Then I jumped to $100 million. Wait a minute. I didn't remember saying $100 million. house. Wait a minute. She didn't know I recorded her. Like, she didn't know I recorded her. No. I told you I was so manic. I went from 100K to 100 million. Here we go. Let me play a bit more. All right, here we go.
But I told my lawyer that I just want to own the church. I want to own the church completely. And I'm going to turn True Church of Holiness into an LGBT shelter. Because what the True Church of Holiness did to Marquise Wiley as a gay black man, they labeled me crazy. They labeled me with HIV. They labeled me as being a homophobic, crazy, narcissistic, faggot, sissy, queer. He got over the church, said Charmin and Marquise Wiley is home. Marquise is out there having sex. Someone called True Church of Holiness. Someone sent a via Facebook message to Bishop Cartwright, and they said, quote, "You got a homosexual by the name of Marquise Wiley conducting your services at True Church of Holiness. Bishop Cartwright told me, Marquise Wiley, at prayer on a Wednesday night that about the messages."
Now that is a true story. That is a true story. So you clearly hear in my voice that I was hurt. I'm saying all this stuff that happened to me, and all these thoughts are resting in my mind. But I just want to pause on that point because my sister, my uncle came to my sister first talking about what about these messages that went on when Marquise, what about these messages about this message? Because someone sent my bishop a message, and during that time I was trying to interview people. So somebody inbox my uncle, he's the bishop, inbox him and said, "You got a homosexual leading praise and worship." And he asked me about it. And he was so mad about it. He said, "I think you should leave." And I had to leave. I couldn't go to prayer. I had to leave. So all of this stuff that I have suppressed, I'm just saying it all to Betty Price. You know. So yeah, this is yeah. So let me play some more of this. Wow, it's some stuff that I haven't played this. This is the first time I think I played this for y'all, if I'm not mistaken.
I said, "Sir, that came from Brother Shavers, Brother Roy Shavers. He must have sent that because Brother Roy Shavers was a homosexual in the church. Brother Roy Shavers was a homosexual, and he was living with a mother, and the mother said, 'I'm seeing all these little boys going into this apartment building.' And so Brother Roy Shavers came to True Church of Holiness. You know, he got back in the church.
Okay, that is true, because with that brother, this is a true story, man. All this stuff is coming back, and I'm gonna just share with y'all. So it was men's day. It was men's day at the church. And usually at the men's day, we all go down in the basement, eat down in the basement area, and we eat fried chicken for men's day. We get fried chicken and stuff like that, and the men serve the congregation. So this particular time, Brother Roy, he had a problem with me. Like, he wanted to fight me, and he was so angry, and he wanted to stab me. He was so angry at me because he was living on the down low, and so I get a phone call. I knew the man was down low, and I knew all this stuff about him. I get a phone call. Someone called me and said, "I saw Brother Roy in Boys Town, Boys Town up north where the gays at. I saw him there. Like, what thing?" And so I told my uncle, and this is how all this stuff that's been going on. I was like a teenager hearing this stuff. And so once I got older, he just couldn't stand me. And my uncle thought me and him had something going on. I told my uncle flat out, I said, "He ain't my type. I would never sleep with something like that. He's just not my type." But he wanted to hurt me in the church. He wanted to hurt me. He literally wanted to hurt me. He wanted to do some damage to me. So he would always text my uncle bad stuff about me. So this is just going on in the church. And so I've dealt with this as a teenager, as an adult. And so I'm literally telling Brother Price all of this stuff. Yeah. So wow. So I'm gonna play. Let me play some more of this, because I'm just playing this. Somebody, hold on one second. Here we go.
I'm there. Now, I'm an openly homosexual that know that Brother Roy Shavers is a closeted homosexual. And he know via my social media that I'm out because he been watching me for years. He been trying to sleep with me for years. But I always,
Brother Roy?
yes. But I always declined his favoritism. I said, no, sir, no, sir. And he stepped back because I'm Bishop nephew. So via Bishop Melvin Cartwright told me, Marquise Wiley, have you and Brother Shavers had sex? I said, Bishop, no. That man is so stupid and incompetent and dumb, he needs to sit on down. So Bishop Shavers, one...
Brother Uncle, he did ask me. He said, did you and the brother have sex? I said, no.
Men's Day service. We were downstairs in the dining room, in that basement, down in the basement. On Man's Day, Brother Roy Shavers tried to stab me in the basement in True Church of Holiness.
Trying to stab you.
He tried to stab me. So Bishop Cartwright intervened and tried to make it into a laughing matter, but he saw it. And Brother Victor saw it. He said, oh my gosh, he was trying to stab you. I said, you trying to do what?
What was he trying to stab?
Because he thought that I was going to expose him being a homosexual in the church. All I said, you can't be down low being a homosexual. Everybody know you gay. Because everybody know. I'm crying out for every closeted homosexual in True Church of Holiness. They coming out. Charmin Blake Marlowe, homosexual. Kaya Booth, homosexual. Sakita Booth, homosexual. All of these homos. I'm not.
So I'm literally calling out names because I was out of my business put out there. So I'm putting out everybody's business. So I'm putting out I can understand that Wiley, like I'm putting out everybody's business because I've been out of it. I'm out of it. So I'm putting everybody's business out there. So I was angry. Like I was really, really angry. I was younger. I was angry. I was in my 20s when I called her. I was angry. Yeah, here we go.
The only openly homo. And the wicked devils at the True Church of Holiness, wicked evil devils, went to conspire with some evil counsels and got to the judge, went to 555 West Harrington Street, got an order of protection and lied on Marquise Wiley. They lied on this black brother, this holy brother, never been accused of a crime. They tried to get me arrested. I beated them at every fall because they was all stupid. None of them went to college. From Sister Williams on down to Bishop Melvin Cartwright. Sister Williams, she treated me, Marquise Wiley, like what trash. She treated me so evil. She had me crying. So Charmin went to, hold on, let me tell you about the wedding, because you asked me what Charmin married.
You got to speed it up now. I got to go. Go ahead.
Now, Charmin got married. He on the down low. Before he got married, Sister Williams said, don't invite him to the wedding. He's not invited. So I don't get an invitation. Because I said to myself, I said to Bishop, I said, Bishop, if I go to the wedding, I'm going to expose Brother Charmin Blake Marlowe as a homosexual because he's gay. That's my lover. We've been having sex. So I'm going to expose it because this ain't nothing but a lie. Y'all going to get this woman in a whole healer bean mess. So they did it anyway. Bishop had a meeting with Ollie Williams and said, Ollie Williams, it's Charmin is gay, does not do the wedding. She said, Bishop, he's not gay. So Sister Williams got me, Marquise Wiley, down in a candy store. That little candy store with that broken door in the basement. She pulled me in there and she asked me a question. Marquise, Brother Marquise, I want to know, is Charmin gay? I said to Sister Williams, Sister Williams, I did not see Charmin having any sex with a man. The only thing I saw Charmin with, and when I was there, was a homosexual Bishop Thomas from the board of directors.
So I'm just naming names. Hold on 1 second. I was this like as I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm naming all these people's names. But I was really pissed, man. I was pulling it all. I was spilling it all. I was hurt, angry, scorn. Like, and I literally called her early in the morning. I wasn't sleeping and eating. I was just scoring, man. I was angry, man. I'm not angry or scoring anymore. But I was angry. I was scoring. Yeah, but I was spilling all the tea. Let's hit some more. Here we go.
Of the Church of God in Christ. He's on the general board of directors. His son from New Community Church of God in Christ. He and Charmin were best. They was friends. So at that time, I said, okay, and it was rumored that they were having sex. So that's what Bishop Cartwright was saying. And I said, Bishop Cartwright, you know what? I don't know if they were having sex. All I know was I was trying to have sex with Brother Charmin, manager at Burger King. I wasn't trying to have sex with Charmin. I was trying to get his manager. Well, that's
the true story. Because I think many of y'all don't know this. I'm a little backstory. I had moved because I had went to the Army. That didn't work out. Went to Chicago. So I moved with my friend Charmin in Virginia. And so I followed all the people on Facebook, and he had a sexy manager. His manager at Burger King was sexy. So I was trying to flirt with him back and forth. So I moved to Virginia, stayed with my friend Charmin, and I had invited the manager at the Burger King to his house so we can do some stuff. Man, I didn't know I spilled all that to Mother Price. She didn't deserve to hear all that stuff, but I just want a little backstory. I was scored. I was hurt. Yeah, I was here in Portsmouth, Virginia. Yeah, I was in Portsmouth, Virginia. I say there. I was angry and I was hurt. I was scorned, and I needed to speak to a therapist. And to this day, I still need to speak to a therapist. I just was just spilling it to somebody that went to hear it. Like I'm just saying, I was angry. I didn't know how to process all that stuff. I was livid. I was angry. I was hurt. I was everything. Yeah. But yeah, let's play some more. Here we go.
I heard that you were having sex with Charmin all through that. You ain't had no money in there. I said, Bishop Cartwright, that wasn't true. I wasn't trying to have sex with Charmin. I do not say what you're saying is lying that I'm trying to explain. I'm gay, so I'm trying to have sex with the Charmin manager. So a scandal happened at New Community Church. A scandal happened at the New Community Church of God in Christ, where the bishop is Bishop Thomas, and he's the general board member at that church.
Okay, he's dead too. He died like last year or year before. So yeah. Okay, here we go.
Church. So he tried to call.
I'm gonna have to go, babe.
Okay, thank you, Mother Price.
Okay, well, you can call me again, but
can you just pray for me before you go?
Oh, I sure will. Hold on a minute.
Wait a minute. So I'm not getting all this messiness. Now I want some prayer. Here we go. Let's play a little bit more. Here we go.
You know, I'm glad to it. Thank God to it. Okay. Precious Father in the Holy.
How let me do it again.
Okay.
Oh, let me rewind that back.
I'm glad to it. Thank God to it. Okay. Precious Father in the holy mighty name of Jesus. Lord, we come to you this morning as humble as I know how. God, like we do every morning. But God, this is a special prayer I'm coming to you for this morning. For our brother Marquis Wiley. Lord, look on him right now, God. In the name of Jesus, you say you're a very present help in a time of trouble. And Jeremiah 32:17 says, oh, Lord God, behold, I have made the heaven and earth by their great power and stretched out You can do anything you want to do. I want you to look on my kid right now. Look on him in a special way. Look on his family, his grandmama, his sisters, his brother's mama, his uncle. Look on the whole family, God. Lord, bring this mess to an end. Help him in the name of Jesus. Touch his mind, soul, and spirit. In Jesus' name, want him to be all right. Heal him in his body from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. Lord, give him another chance, God. Bless him right now in your son. In Jesus' name, we love you, God. We thank you for listening, hearing, and answering our prayer. In your son, Jesus' name, we rebuke the enemy on every hand. Send the blood of Jesus against you right now. I decree you gone in Jesus' name. We thank you, God, for this hour of prayer right now in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. All right, my kids. I love you.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to keep praying for you, okay?
And I wish your business, FCHN, nothing but success.
But people, yeah, that's what I want to be. We get ready to celebrate 30 years, April 29th.
Okay, so that was that. But yeah, man, after all that mess, I asked for prayer. I was, yeah, man. After all that prayer, and after all that mess, I had asked for prayer. But man, I was angry. I was I was not in my right mind. I was angry. I was I to whoever answered the phone, man, I was telling the story to. I was very, very aggressive, and I was very, very angry. Do I ever think that bridge will be? No, I think that bridge is burnt, man. Like my uncle, we don't talk at all. And yeah, it was I was very hurt. Yeah. I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Amen. Jesus' name, amen. Yeah. So, man, I just want to say, for a person that's dealing with church hurt, don't do it the way I did it. Don't go live. Don't go on social media. Go to a therapist. Go to a therapist. Pray and go to a therapist, and ask God, and go to a therapist. Get process that hurt, because what I did, unfortunately, I ran to social media. And I regret running to social media. But that's what I ran to. I ran to social media. I didn't know no other way for it. And yeah, and give me 1 second. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. All grown and stuff, but yeah. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. Who is it? But yeah. Yeah, man, I was angry. Glad you shared your story. You were heard by the adults in this, and they were wrong. And I was a teenager, and I never was able to process the hurt. You know what I'm saying? I came to my uncle when I was 13, and I told him that I was gay, because he would preach against homosexuality so hard. I was scared. Oh my gosh, I don't want to burn in hell. So I told my uncle, I remember, I will never forget it. It was a Tuesday or Wednesday night. I went to him, and I said in his ear, I said, "Hey, I'm gay. I need help." And I told him about it. And so we would get on the altar, like before Andrew Caldwell. That's why I'm not mad at Andrew, because of the environment he was in. I would get on the altar and I would say, "I'm delivered. I'm not gay no more. God delivered me from that spirit." Like before Andrew. And the reason why Andrew went viral is because they recorded it. The cameras was there. Kojic is big. The cameras there. Somebody seen it and it just went viral. But for years, I would say that over the church that I'm delivered and I'm not gay anymore. I don't have that spirit. And I was a kid. I was a teenager saying this stuff. I just wish I would have gotten therapy for that as well. Talk to a therapist and get a counselor and all of that. But the church, they said what it was. I grew up in an environment where you didn't go to a counselor, you didn't go to a therapist. You get on the altar, you call on Jesus, you get on the altar. That's what you do. You don't go to get into therapy or get any psychiatric treatment. That ain't nothing but the devil. Get on the altar, get Jesus in your life. So that's what the message was. And I just wish somebody would have tapped me on the shoulder and say, speak to a counselor and a therapist to process that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so when I told my mother, and she was able to say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you went through all this stuff. I'm sorry," because she wasn't in the church, but she didn't know I went through that. When I went through the struggle. But yeah, man. But I sent that video. I sent it to all the members. Oh man, I won't say this person got divorced, but one of my friends, he had got divorced because I was putting his information out there because he violated my sister, and I put it out there to social media. I don't regret that because you put it out there, and I wanted people to know that this was a predator, that he preyed on my sister and her friend. So I put that out on social media, and then shortly after that, he got divorced. He got divorced from his wife, and he got a new wife and stuff like that. And so she she want to deal with the man, sharing him with men and women, be happy with it. But yeah, man, that happened. And that happened on social media, man. I was wild. I was angry. I was so angry. I didn't know how to process it. But if I look back now, I just wish I would have went to Mother Price and apologized to Mother Price and say, I'm sorry that happened. That I'm sorry that I recorded you and sent it to the members of the church and former members. I do apologize. I wish I would have said that to her before she passed. But I was angry. I wasn't in my right mind. I was hurt. I was angry. And I was all of that. And the reason I'm sharing it now because there's somebody right there in this listening that have church hurt. And people mix church hurt with God hurt me. And it wasn't God. Those were people. And don't misconstrue Jesus with people. All right. And understand that was those people that did that. And it's other great churches out there and there's other good men of God out there that you don't have to continue to just be bitter. You can process the hurt and you can find a new church that will appreciate you. And I'm talking about people that is bisexual, gay, transgender. It's people out there that will that will honor you and that will receive you, and you will have that. And so that will receive that you and that will not make you feel guilty because growing up and growing up in an environment, hearing that you're going to hell and you're hearing it all the time, people knowing your personal business and hearing that does damage to you. I don't think people realize the damage that caused you. That's verbal abuse because you hearing that, being called a sissy, being called a fag, saying you're going to hell, hearing that over and over can damage a child. I don't care how you try to misconstrue it. I don't care how you try to do that can damage a child. That can cause damage to an adult. But hearing it as a child and as a teenager, because right now you're growing up, you're trying to find yourself, and that make you get some damage right there. Like that, like, oh my gosh, I don't supposed to have this spirit, but it's how do I get rid of it? And I've seen people, they're no longer here. Because they commit suicide, they end their life because of these similar situations where they try to be straight and they try to force themselves to be straight and they never could get there, and they feel they so unhappy because everybody around them don't want to be around them and their family because they like men, and so that's real, and I don't think people realize that. And I hope that more churches will have serious conversations with people about that and talk to men and women about that, other than just telling them that they're going to hell. Like it got to be other ways to reach people in that community, because that caused a lot of damage and a lot of hurt. Yeah, absolutely. Verbal abuse is very damaging and is almost as bad as physical. Emotional abuse is very lingering. Absolutely, it is. It is. And I just wish somebody would have said, talk to me about my upbringing. Why is this and stuff like that? Wiley thing happened for a reason. Like lessons that you're sharing with us is important. One of us is this chat needed to hear this. So you see God take us through things, good or bad, for the lesson today. And yes, amen to that. I received that. Absolutely. I received that, right, Pastor, using people business as a Sunday service speech, and then using personal business. I remember, oh my gosh, hold on, somebody just called me from this number. Who is this calling me? I remember my uncle was sharing a story. I'm not gonna go into all the details about it. And something my mother did not know. She's like, he shared that? I was like, yeah, he shared that. He would share family business over the church. And so, and I shared that story with her, and she was shocked. She's like, "Who told you that?" I'm like, "I got it from the sermon. He shared this over the church." And so, hearing that, I'll share with y'all. I remember he was doing a sermon, and he was talking about my grandfather, which that will make his stepfather. Because my grandmother was married to my grandfather. That would be my uncle's stepfather. And he said, yeah, he didn't really want me in the house. And he hit my mama. And I didn't know that my grandfather, hit my grandmother. I didn't know that at all. And my mother didn't even know. But she said, how do you know that? Because he shared it over church. Like, I'm gonna tell you another story. He was my grandmother had him when she was 13 or 14 years old. She had my uncle when she was 13 years old. She shared this over the church. So one day my uncle had his appreciation service. He had his appreciation service. He was over the pulpit, and my auntie, which is my grandmother's sister, was there. So he shared over the church. He said, my auntie is my sister and she's my auntie. And she said, no, hon, I'm your auntie. I'm not your sister. I'm your auntie. So he said, let me break it down. When my mother had me at 13, my grandparents took custody of me, raised me, adopted me. And so that makes my auntie my sister, my adopted sister. So my auntie didn't want that shared over the church. And so he shared that. He shared it over the church. And my auntie kept saying, like, oh my gosh, I'm your auntie. I am not your sister. And I understand where he was coming from, but why do the church have to know this? You know what I'm saying? Why do the church have to know this information? Shouldn't that be private? So he shared he shared it over the church. And so my uncle, I think one of his major mistakes, he would share a lot of personal information to me. And I remember, I'm going up every lane. When my best friend at the time, the one that violated my sister, we was in a car, and he said, Marquise, are you gay? No, he said, is your friend gay? He's in our church. He said, is Charmin gay? I said, Bishop, I don't feel comfortable saying his sexuality. I don't feel comfortable, putting out his business. Well, he told me you was gay. That's so messy. Like, that was so messy. I didn't want to say his business because it wasn't my place, like, to out him. But it was like my uncle was, he had some ways. I don't think that, was good to do. To put to put all of this stuff out there, but he shared it, and so there's a lot of stuff he shared in the church. And my mother was like, how do you know these things? Because he shared it. I didn't make this stuff up. And so, of course, my grandmother shared a lot of things over the church and stuff like that when it comes to stuff like that. But then when I share stuff, it's a problem. But y'all been sharing stuff all along. But yeah, they share. It looked like they were sharing, but hiding the secret. Black church should be black church was social media before social media. Yes. So tea spilling runs in the family. Tea spilling runs in the family. Like my family is so messy and tea spilling. I was in Chicago and I remember me. Okay, I'm gonna share this story because this is a true story. My uncle, he wanted to be a bishop. He went from elder to bishop. So at during that time, my grandmother's house before she sold it, she used to have a basement apartment in her house. And so my cousin stayed in the basement. And so my uncle's daughter, the bishop's daughter, was saying, I don't think my daddy should be a bishop. I don't think my daddy should be a bishop. He ain't ready to be no bishop. So she was talking to my cousin about it and saying this. And so I went to my uncle. And mind you, I'm a teenager. So anything I love my uncle. I loved him. He was my pastor. So if I'm hearing you talk, if you diss my pastor, I'm gonna let my pastor know. So I let him know, and I said, "Hey, your daughter said that you shouldn't be a bishop. That you're not ready to be a bishop." And she told another family member that you're not ready to be a bishop. And he's like, "Oh man," he said, "I'll handle it." So my uncle, they had a bad argument. Now I never knew this until my cousin told me. He went home. He was so mad at his daughter about that situation. Really, really mad at his daughter. So fast forward, me and her have a conversation. She said, "Marquise, I'm gonna tell you why our problems lie. Why we have a problem. You destroyed my relationship with my father. You told my father that I was just him. You destroyed that relationship." But yeah, she was so pissed, and I regret ever sharing that information to my uncle. I regret it, but I was a teenager. That was I just shared it with uncle, and it destroyed him. It was so bad and messy. My cousin came to my grandmother's house. I'm glad she saw it. There was a lot of messy stuff that went on in that house. She came to my grandmother's house, my cousin, not the uncle's daughter, my other cousin. She said, "Marquise, why would you share that information and you got her, not the bishop coming at his daughter like that, and you shared it? You shouldn't have shared that information. Why would you do something like that?" And blah, blah, blah. She came all in my face, pointing her finger, and my grandma was like, "What's going on? Why you doing this?" He said, it was a messy. It was so, it was, it was so messy. It was so messy. And I was a teenager, man. I was a teen. I made a lot of mistakes, man, but it was messy, man. It is what it is. Yeah, it was messy. Yeah. But yeah, they was definitely spilling the tea, man. Yeah. Oh my oh, she was so mad at me. She said, "I ain't gonna never, I'm gonna tell my mama not to hire you," because her mom owned a cleaning business. You know, that's the family that had like a business, and I would work with them. I'm gonna tell her not to hire you no more and stuff like that. And I'm like, you get mad at me and you let me, and I gotta babysit your kids, and you gonna treat me like, and it was a nasty argument. But yeah, man, it was very messy. Like you would be on the phone with a family member and another family member have you on three-way. I remember that, child. Yeah, that you would think you on the phone with one family member and they got you on a whole three-way. And they got me like this. I was talking to one cousin and she had me on a three-way because I was talking about the cousin and she put the cut on a three-way and then they jumped me on the three, just coming at me hard. But I was just sharing stuff that happened. I was sharing stuff in the chat. I was spilling tea that it was true. Didn't lie. And she was mad. She came on the phone, blah, 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 blah. It was arguing. It was a mess, man. Yeah. Yeah. It was a mess, man. If I write that book, I would have to go into witness protection, put all them secrets in there for real, for real. I would have to go into witness protection, like for real, for real. That's why I would say, let me hang up and I'll call you back. Yeah, they would have you on three ways, and man, It's a mess I did to a friend in school, and you would hear the mess, man. It was real messy, and stuff like that. And this is why I think our family not as close, because we talk about each other behind each other's back, but we don't talk to each other. Yeah, we don't talk to each other. We will talk about each other's back, but we won't have the courage to go face to face with the person what we got a problem with. That's the problem, I think, in a lot of families, but I know in my family, that's the problem. We would have a whole conversation about auntie or uncle, but we won't call them about the problem, but we'll share with another member about it. So we definitely got to fix that. But my mother, I think once I moved to Texas, I was getting a lot of phone calls from my immediate family. They were saying, Wiley, you were right. I didn't know all this stuff was going on. I was getting a lot of that. And I it made me feel okay because they knew that I went through a lot. Like my mother finally knew that I went through a lot and she called, she had to apologize. You know, my sister said, oh my gosh, you were so right about these things. They didn't know. They went into church. I was very active. And so it was very, it was, it was, it was a lot of things that was going on. And so yeah, man, it was just another member that just left the church. I mean, the man left the church just recently, left the church, didn't tell nobody. He threw all the stuff away from the church. He left and moved to a whole nother state because things go on. Yeah, uh things go on. He left, he literally a brother in the church that I left from. He literally left the church, moved to another state. And I asked my sister, what happened? Some happy got the church hurt, some really, really happened. I said, yeah. Then it was and then because you know, it was another sister, and this one I knew it was like a trend of this church because it was another sister that had to go to the mental hospital. I went to the mental hospital, and this other sister, she had went to mental, left college, went to the mental hospital, had a mental breakdown, and people was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, why did she have this mental breakdown?" I said so much stuff that have happened that she don't talk about because she'll be judged, and you go crazy. You literally go crazy when you have stuff that's going on in your life and you don't know how to process it. And a lot of people in churches don't know how to process a lot of things because they don't want to be judged. So they go through so much and they don't believe in going to a therapist. They believe in just getting on the altar. But sometimes it's nothing wrong getting you a good therapist. It's nothing wrong going to a good therapist. Ain't nothing wrong if you have to get on some psych meds because you're going through it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong like if you have high blood pressure, you have to get on a high blood pressure pill. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to have glasses. You can't hardly see. Have to wear glasses. It's nothing wrong. They can say just pray on it. But sometimes you need to speak to a doctor. You need to psychiatrist. Like you go for a checkup. We need to normalize, I think, in the Black community, we need to normalize going to a therapist, processing your hurt, your trauma. But a lot of people in these churches, they said, just pray on it, get on the altar, pray on it, get on. That's all I heard. Get on the altar, pray on it, get on the altar, give it up to God, get on the altar, pray on it, pray on it. But you could be praying and still going through it. And the question I have to the church, what if you're still going through it after you get through praying? Can I go to the psychiatrist and get help? Is that okay? Is I'm still a Christian if I'm on psych medication? I have a question to the church. Is I'm still saved and sanctified and Holy Ghost filled if I'm on psych medication? Is my life with God still good if I have to go to my therapist? I'm asking a question to the church. These are the questions that the church must answer. They must have the, can you still be holy and take some psych medication for depression? Can you still be sanctified and going to a counselor because you're going through something? Is you still holy? I'm asking a question to the church. Whoever, what, I'm asking a question. Can you still be holy and take some anti-depression medication? I'm just asking that question. Certain people would say no. These are questions that I'm asking. And so I'm going to open up these phone lines. Good morning. We just shared some stuff. I didn't know we was going to have a morning show like this. So y'all better make sure y'all giving us an offering in the Cash App. Moderators, put the Cash App in the chat. Let me make sure I take this email address down so y'all can see my Cash App, because y'all getting the show today. Oh, man, y'all getting the show today. All right. Come on down. Thank you so very much. If you give $5, $10, or whatever, because y'all getting the morning show today. I wasn't expecting to share this. We had no notes. I was expecting to talk about Bad Boys LA, and I went down in a history. I went down my family tree talking to y'all. What? Yeah, my uncle still go to church. My grandmother still goes to the church. That's it. My sister don't go. Share some more information. If y'all don't call in, I'm gonna share some more stuff. I got a lot more stuff to share. This the Wiley Show. You get mad at yourself. Because I can share some more stuff that I want to share. Oh man. Here we go. The number. We're gonna open up the phone
Your
lines.
show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Okay, give me a second. Press 1.
Your show is scheduled to start in 31 seconds.
Because I know most of my moderators at work. So D Vlogs, if I see you in the chat, can you just post the number if anybody want to call in? Give me a second. All right.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You said
Blog Talk Radio.
somebody said you really outdid yourself today. Thank you so very much, sus. You really outdid yourself today. I wasn't really planning it, but I remember my uncle, he passed away. My Uncle Freddie, he passed. He was in and out of psych wards and in and out of nursing homes, and he passed. And so my uncle, my bishop, well, he's not my bishop no more, but my former pastor, which is my uncle, he was preaching at the funeral. Now, mind you, when you preach at the funeral, you're supposed to preach about the person, stuff. But this particular sermon, he was preaching against homosexuality. So my sister, she was so offended. She walked out and left. And I didn't go because I said, I can't go inside of a place where we didn't have a talk. It's too much hurt there. So I didn't go to my uncle's funeral because it was hosted at my uncle that's a pastor's church. It was hosted at his church. And I said, I'm not going to go because I don't want to go there. And then when he got up, he started preaching against homosexuality. And my thing, and this is my thing, I'm like, is this homosexuality ain't the only sin? Come on, somebody. I don't think that's the only sin in the Bible. But is that appropriate to be saying that at the funeral of your brother? He was a straight man. He wasn't gay. But my sister, she walked out and left. And I'm like, but I grew up under that for years. That's what I grew up under. That ain't nothing new. I for years and years and years and years and years and years grew up there for years. My personal business be aired over the church. It ain't nothing weird to hear somebody personal business or former members, because my uncle, he have a tendency to talk about former members that left the church. And it's a very small church, only about 10 people. It's a very small church. This is not like a church with 3,000 people. It's a very small storefront church, maybe about 10 people. right? With adults, like 10 adults, probably a little less than that. It's a small 10, maybe 10, 11 adults, because one adult, he just left. He moved. But let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, 9542. Good morning.
Good morning, Wiley. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good. You are really you saying something this morning, but I want to go through a little bit of everything, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
I love your testimony and everything.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. I thought the beef sector was fake because when I saw all you guys together, remember you had went on some type of trip with you and I think Five. It was a bunch of you had went on some type of trip, and I was like, "What? These people are friends?" So I didn't even know the B sector was real. I thought it was more like just gagging on each other for whatever reason that you were doing it. So I'm sorry. I now I see it is real. I knew it was real. This is what I will say. I knew it was real between, like, let's just say, like, Armand and Tasha K. Like, he felt the way he felt, and he let that be known. But all the other stuff going back and forth, I didn't even know it was, like, serious. You know what I mean? Because, like, when I saw you guys together. So behind the scenes, are you guys really all cool with each other? And these beats are really not that serious?
I am cool with certain people, but some people I'm not cool with, you know. And I think the B sector is no different than any other sector that if you really watch YouTube, you would really get into some sectors of stuff. But yeah, I'm cool with some. Some people I'm very cool with, having an amazing relationship with, and some I'm not with. I'm not really in the B sector anymore. During that time you're talking about when I was out and about, but I'm no longer very active in that sector. But I am cool with some people in that sector, yes. But some
okay.
if
all right. That's good to hear. It's good to hear, because I was like, they can't possibly hate each other this much when they're all have their own strong points. Okay, and your testimony about your family and YouTube and Facebook beginnings, that shows me how that prepares you for all your YouTube beefs, because you had already been in it growing up in the church with the gossip and all that kind of stuff. So when you got on YouTube, I think your thick skin was developed way before you even got on YouTube.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
Yeah, definitely. And the way you were calling out predators who violated your family from young, and that shows me another reason I feel like I got to know you a little bit better, because it shows why you go so hard for Black women. And people try to say, oh, it's fake, you're trying to build your audience. I don't think so. After that testimony, I really believe you feel that way because you've seen people that you love be victimized. So that was so good to just hear from you, like to kind of like put all those little things together, you know?
Facts.
And that story time you had about Armand, how he stole your music, I knew it was funny and you were just trolling or whatever, because you said you guys never met in person. So I know it was like, no, real. That was just like a story, you know, whatever.
It was April Fool's Day. So it was a April Fool's Day joke, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, really trolling.
Yeah, it was April Fool's, you know. Me and mine, he's a good guy. I can pick up the phone, I can call him and stuff like that. We never met, you know what I'm saying? If I see the man in person, I would embrace that brother with a hug. You know, we never met in person. But it was an April Fool's joke because I knew that people would be into it, commenting and watching, and they watched it.
They did, because I was like, what? But I knew you were trolling, though. I did.
Absolutely.
Like, totally. I know this story is not true, but it's okay. It's all good. It was entertaining, and I guess that was your point.
Thanks.
And honestly, I like his song, but after a while, I don't know if I could listen to a whole album of his, because I don't know. I find his voice a little annoying after a while. Not because it's him, and I'm trying to like.
Well, his voice. I want to say that his voice. He's not a singer. He just got a one little note. Da 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 da. It's just one note, one tone that he have. He's not like he's not like a singer. You know what I'm saying? He have one good note that he could just rap that da 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 da, you know, one good little tone, and that's what he have. It's good, you know, it's good tone, good beats, you know, good lyrics. I play his music on our show on Station Head. People like it. I put a poll
Right,
out,
you do.
and people, majority of the people said yes, they like the song. And this show is not that friendly for Amon Wiggins, but we put a poll out, and most of the people like the song. We put a poll out to our people that don't like them said, hey, I like the record.
Well, I'm your people too, Wiley. So
That's good.
I said it was okay. I said it was okay. You know what I mean? But I'm just like more like, it's kind of annoying after a while. Like, because like you said, it's so da da. It's that one thing. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And I'm so glad you came back and you entertained us with
Thank
some
you.
personal stuff. And we felt that. Thank you, Wiley.
Thank you so very much.
You're awesome. I think you're the best YouTuber. I
Thank
really
you.
do. I'm into the crime, the true crime sector. But when it comes to just entertaining and somebody talking,
Thank
I
you.
watch Tasha K for what she brings, but I watch you more than all of them.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Don't never think that people are not watching you. They don't care, or if super chats are low. Believe me, people work and stuff. But when you come on, Wiley, we tune in.
Thank you.
And we look forward to you. I'm bored as heck when you don't come on.
Thank you so very much for that, sister. Thank you.
All right, Wiley. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey, how you doing?
Let me tell you, today was an amazing show.
Thank you.
Amazing. You did a wonderful job. Thank you for your transparency. You are a whole kiki today and in yesterday. You are funny as I don't know what.
Thank you.
What I wanted to say was, as far as like Bad Boys of LA, I definitely agree that Milan is a, I would say like a camera hog, so to speak. He wants to be the center of attention. He wants it to everything. He wants to be the center of it all. And I do believe that, is it Milan and the other guy, Curtis, they were wrong for trying to force Kerrion to say, you know, what he prefers or what he likes. At the end of the day, what does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to question somebody initially to find out where they are, but then when you keep bringing it up, that's what makes it look like it's very homophobic, and that ain't cool. And your story time today was off the chain. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Thank you.
Rest in peace to Mother Price.
Yeah, rest in peace to Mother Price. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting to play that today and talk about that today. But hey, it's a morning show. It's the Wiley Show. Anything goes. Well, we will have these conversations. But another reason why I had a conversation, because I was watching a video on Instagram, and this lady was talking about church hurt. And she said it wasn't God that hurt you, it was a person in that particular church that hurt you. So don't get it twisted or get it mixed up. Mm-hmm. And so that was on my mind today. And then, of course, we shared it with you guys today, because there's somebody out here that battled with church hurt, that experienced church hurt, that experienced some type of trauma in the church. A lot of people don't talk about it. They just go on with their daily lives. Some people no longer with us because it was so much pressure. They take themselves out. But I shared that because I'm no longer in that angry place. Still hurt, still have some hurt there. Because I think as you live and you grow, but I'm not as angry as I was. Because when I did that phone call, but I was all over the place, but I was angry. I was hurt and angry. And anger and hurt don't mix.
I'm definitely one of those people that have experienced church hurt. Because when you, like, church is supposed to be the hospital, right? It's like how they say it's the hospital for the sick. And so when you go to church, you would expect that the people there will take you in and not pass judgment on you. And so when you do go to church, and then those same people who claim to be holier than thou hurt you, it really does hurt. And then it makes you resentful. But having the foundation of, you know, Christianity helps a lot of people, because you can always resort back to that and not necessarily have to be in fellowship with the people in the building. So I'm grateful for that. And I see that you have that foundation, and you will turn back to that, and you make us all laugh using that.
Thank you. And so it was great. I'm just so glad to be back doing this morning show, talking with you guys, experiencing this show with y'all on this journey. It's just amazing, and it's good to talk about it. It's good to bring these personal experience to the world, so as to touch and help somebody else in a similar situation. But back to Kerrion Franklin, I agree. I don't think no one should be forced, you know, out the closet and stuff like that, because if I'm straight, I don't care. You could be whatever. That's not going to stop me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a person, unless a person touches you, you have the right to defend yourself. But me forcing you, I need to know. It ain't none of your business. It's none of your business.
Yeah, and I don't understand why is it so like that they need to know. And at the end of the day, whether he's gay or not, like, you still can be cool with somebody. You know, just because their sexual preference is different from yours doesn't mean you can't be cool, be friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, what they do in the bedroom is their own personal business.
Facts.
And so I've learned a lot watching you and being subscribed to your channel. I have learned a lot, because at one time in my life, I was against homosexuality, big time. And that's because of being brought up in the church. But, you know, times have changed. And at the end of the day, what people choose to do, that's their choice. And I'm not going to dislike you or hate on you or hate you because of your choices. I mean, I think that whole LGBT is a whole key. I love it. Thank you for introducing me to Chasen. Thank you for introducing me to Bad Boys of LA. Thank you for helping me change my outlook and being more open-minded. So I just wanted to just tell you, thank you, Wiley. Keep up the good work. I'm forever a subby. You are the bomb.
Thank you so very much for that. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
All right, you too. All right. Shout out to our member, Lona. Lona is a new member. Shout out to you. See, this is where elections matter. I want to definitely talk about elections matter, because hold on, we got a phone call here. 8018, caller, you're on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Oh, God, you're about to talk about elections. I need to get back in the chat. I want to tell you a quick story real quick.
Okay.
So one time I joined this church. One year I joined this church. I'd been going constantly for about a year. And it just so happened that my job changed my days off, so I couldn't come every Sunday. And sometimes I had to take off. So I think I had missed like a month, and I came back. I was happy to see everyone. But before I left, that's around the time that I was going through a divorce. And the pastor's wife and I, she and I were about the same age. So when I just felt like, okay, one day she came to me, and you know, when you're hurt and you're going through something, and someone can come at the right time when you're vulnerable. So I started talking to her about what I was going through. You know, I'm going through a divorce. You know, it wasn't something I really wanted. But I had to do this and blah, blah, blah. I kid you not. When I went back to church, that 3 weeks later, the pastor saw me, and it was like he started preaching, and it was going good, and I was all into it. Yes, clapping my hands. And it was like he repeated everything that I told her. And I'm saying that to say, I learned, what I took from that is, I'm already careful about what I put out into the air, what I put out into people, because what you tell someone, of course, if they tell someone else, they're not going to tell the correct story. But I literally stopped going to the church, and I said, I will never again. She made it so bad that I didn't trust anyone in the church. I wouldn't even go back to church, because it wasn't that I was embarrassed because no one knew. It was just that you think that this is the pastor's wife. You know, I can trust her. I can trust him. And he literally used my story and put it out in his sermon and put it out to the church. And he was like, and y'all wonder why y'all having problems and you're getting divorced at young ages and you can't keep a man. He literally told my entire story. So I'm just careful about what I say and what I put out into the air, into the atmosphere. That's all I wanted to say. Your story was amazing today. You know, I was there from the beginning with you, not the beginning, but I remember when you called her on air. I remember, I don't think it was on air, but I remember you played this. But this is for the people years ago, the producers. We were there in the chat, and we remember when you were going through all of this and how hurt that you were. And I'm just glad to see where you are today, because there are a lot of people that doubted you, but of course the producers, we always knew that you were going to make it.
Thank you. And we are here, you know, having these conversations. And I remember, I shared this before, but my uncle, he got over the church and he said Marquise was molested. And I said, who is he talking about? Is he talking about another Marquise? Like what? By his father. And so I'm like, what? Like, is he talking about another Marquise? And so I went to say, Bishop, I said, I never was molested by my father. That never happened. So he got over the church. He said, well, I need to apologize because I said Marquise was molested by his father. That didn't happen, but somebody told me that. But why would you repeat something that somebody told you and say it over the church? You know what I'm saying? And just see, that's where problems and stuff lies, and issues and stuff lies when you share stuff that you was hurt and shared it. We was in Sunday school and that was shared all over the church. And I had to go to him and say, Bishop, that didn't happen. My father did not molest me at all. Someone told him that about me, and he shared it over the church. And he had to apologize. He said, you know what? I'm not going to be listening to what people tell me. Well, you should never be listening to what people told you in the first place and then putting that out over the church on the first place. So that can cause a lot of problems and stuff like that. So yeah, I would never forget it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Wiley, I'm back in the chat. Love you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. You're definitely telling the truth. So I said, also, I don't testify my personal story because church people will use it against you and and I testify and say, when I look around and see what the Lord has done to my soul, cries out, hallelujah. You have to be very careful. I always tell people have confidence, and if God shares something and you are lead by the Spirit, know it, but understand everybody have ears, and sometimes people will use what God delivered you from against you, or use what God has, or you can say, hey, I've been blessed with a new house, and you would get haters to get mad because they ain't get blessed with a new house. They got blessed with they're in a shack, and so they want to come at you. So you have to have really thick skin. I don't care what church you're at, you have to have really, really thick skin. So I do want to switch gears right quick, because I was just sent something to my DM. Give me a second. Where is that story at? Somebody just sent to my DM. Give me a second. Where are we at? Okay. Yes. So, okay. So this is why I say elections matter. So in Tennessee, who in here in Tennessee? Well, this story, Tennessee Republicans propose bill that will eliminate age requirements for marriage. I'm going to repeat that again. Tennessee Republicans propose bill that will eliminate age requirements for marriage. Let me read it for you all. The bill HB 233 that was introduced by Republican State Representative Tom Leatherwood will create an alternative form of marriage for those pastors and individuals who have objection to the current pathway to marriage in our law, he told WKRN. However, missing from the bill are age requirement, opening the door for possible child marriages. They said something that Tom Leatherwood acknowledged during a Children and Family Affairs subcommittee. This is not an explicit age limit, he confirmed. To know, under the current Tennessee law, you can get married as young as 17, with parental consent. Representative Mike Stewart, who sits on the subcommittee, said he simply doesn't understand the motivation behind it. I don't think any normal person think we shouldn't have age requirements for marriage. He added, it could open up the possibility to cover up child sex abuse. It should not be there as a basically a get out of free card for people who are basically committing statutory rape. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. So that's another reason why this terrible bill should be eliminated. Stewart said the bill will be heard in the House Civil Justice Committee on Wednesday. Come on now, that is so sick. But that why it matters. Elections matter. This is the main reason why people in Tennessee, people in Virginia, people all the way, you need to be voting for your state representatives. Elections are local, because if that bill were to pass, that will open up the door for somebody to date somebody under the age of 14, 13 year, whatever age they will try to do it. It will open the floodgates of all type of problems in that state. So this is why elections matter. This is why it is important for you to vote. All right. Thank you. Elections matter. All right, you guys. Thank y'all so very much. We've been on here for a good morning. We're going to be back live today. We definitely going to be back live today. I do want to give a special shout out to the moderators for coming through. Thank y'all so very much for the love. Thank y'all so much for the cash apps. If you want to be a blessing to our channel, our cash app is $Marquise Wiley 28. We want to thank you to the contributors of that for contributing to our show. If you that's $Marquise Wiley 28. Also, too, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter at Wiley Show. That's WILEYSHOW. If you want to email us, you can where's the email address? Give me a second. Also, if you want to contribute to our P.O. box and sending us stuff to the P.O. box, you can. That P.O. box information is 701122, Dallas, Texas, 75370. Again, that's P.O. box 701122, Dallas, Texas, 75370. If you want to contribute to our P.O. box for that. If you want to email us, you can email us at wileyshow@gmail.com, at wileyshow@gmail.com. You can definitely email us at wileyshow@gmail.com. We want to thank you so very much. We also want to thank everybody for the super chats. We also want to thank everybody for the cash outs. This was a major show. We'll be back because I got to do episode 2 of Chasing Atlanta, because episode 3 comes on tonight. So I definitely got to review episode 2. And I'm going to tell y'all, you may not like my review, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be a couple of members that are going to be mad at me on episode 2, their review. So we definitely going to be doing that. There's going to be a couple people probably mad at me, but we're going to be reviewing episode 2 of Chasing Atlanta. So you want to definitely join us. And then immediately following episode 3, we're going to cover episode 3 of Chasing Atlanta today. So y'all going to get some more videos. We're coming back, pushing out the content. So we do want to say we pushing out the content nonstop. So if y'all in the building, we are pushing out this content. So y'all could definitely see us. And I want to definitely give a special shout out to y'all about that. We're definitely pushing out the content. So I had to come and do this morning show. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead on and get on the phone with some doctors, trying to see specialists, trying to see how much money it's going to take me for these specialists and all this. So that's why I'm going to end the morning show, because I've been on here for about 2 hours, going on 3 hours. Give me a second. I'm going to post all my information in the Mo info box so y'all know that all the information. So y'all will have all my information in the description box. How many thumbs up we got? Comment below of the thumbs up. How many thumbs up we got in there? Can y'all let me know the thumbs up? We should at least have 300 thumbs up. Let's get to 300 thumbs up, people. Like the video really quickly. It's really, really, really quickly. It's free to do. It don't cost a thing. It's free to do. Give me a second. Let's get some more thumbs up. Oh, why I ain't put nothing in the description box? Hold on, let me make sure I start filling this description box up. Okay. Let me see where we at. Yes, thumbs up, people. Thumbs up the video. Cause I know a lot of y'all is working from home. So I know if you can just take a break and thumb it up. Thank you so much. I got a lot of stuff to do. Just a lot of phone calls to make. So it's still kind of early. I'm making sure we got all this up in here. Thank you. And the money need to be put. They said play your boss on hold and hit. Yeah, put your boss on hold and like the video. Oh man, put your boss on hold and like the video. Right now, I'm just putting all this stuff in the description box. And let me know. Just moderators, keep me updated before we show out. Yeah, because we got to do episode 2 review. Y'all may not like it. Because I got to write my notes and stuff. But right now, I'm going to go and take care of my business. And this foot is. Yes, thank you. How we doing with the thumbs up, moderators? How we doing with the thumbs up? How we doing with the thumbs up, moderators?
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right. Thank y'all so very much. Man, y'all are tuning in to this. And members, we're gonna do Zeus watch party. Hopefully it goes through. We almost there. Come on, come on. And I remember we definitely gotta bring back my Monday night station head shows. Because I paid this man for this voiceover, and I still love this voiceover. Let me play this voiceover for y'all. Here we go. I still love it.
Yes. Have you heard? The Wiley Show is expanding and will now be on Station Head every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's right. Download Station Head today. You won't, because you don't want to miss Wiley being raw and unfiltered. The Wiley Show every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Station Head.
Let's do it, yo. Send this on.
All right, because I listen, man. I'm going to be watching episode 2 of Chasing Atlanta, and when I tell you, it's going to be some people that ain't going to like what I got to say, but we going to talk about it, okay? All right. So, and we coming back live. Give me a we got all that. We're going to be talking about some more stuff. We got all day, but we can't cram too much stuff in here. Give me a second. I already wrote that down about T.I. We're going to be covering that in the next video. All right. Thank y'all so very much, producers. We're going to be covering it in the next video. And I'm gonna tie that in with my Chasing Atlanta episode 2 review. So we'll be doing that. All right. Thank y'all so very much. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely tie that up in there. All right. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace. We done. Because I want to hurry up and come back live with y'all. So let me hurry up and watch Chasing Atlanta 2. And oh dang, I gotta. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all. Please subscribe. Bye.